GM. This is Best Ball Whenever, and I am here with Steph Miller of Legendary Upside. Steph does great Dynasty work for Legendary Upside, also does a lot of Best Ball drafting, and does the waiver wire article for Leg Up during the season as well. Really happy to have Steph here. She did 70 drafts. I was just looking at her exposures from last year. A true Leg Up person. She does have her highest exposure last year was Jalen Warren. So you know that she is part of the brand there at Legendary Upside. Stephanie, really excited to have you on the stream today. I've seen you other places. Always enjoy your streams. Thank you for joining me. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today, Neil?
I'm doing great. It's a little bit rainy here in Minnesota today, but at least that keeps it a little bit cooler. Not feeling 85 and sunny. You're in Texas, right?
I was going to say, yeah, I know nothing about cool. It's
right.
Hot and humid. It's finally stopped raining. We had a stream of stormy weather for a good week straight. So
I've teased already that we are going to do the Jake Ferguson debate. We're going to join the Jake Ferguson debate that has seemed to have taken over the fantasy world this week, the best ball world at least. Everybody's been talking about Jake Ferguson. A lot of sharp people on both sides of the Jake Ferguson debate. So excited to talk about that with a true Dallas Cowboys fan. We can get there as we are getting into the drafts. I started on Monday. I asked Bindles if he had read anything recently, heard anything recently that was interesting that we should factor into our drafting, whether it be just a player take or a strategy for best ball. Have you read or heard anything recently that you found interesting that is going to affect the way that you're drafting?
Well, I'm going to say that I think the biggest thing that I've read recently is what we have over at Legendary Upside with all of the diversification pieces that Sacrilegious has been doing that really has just made me start to think about the stances I'm making and how to diversify across my portfolio and keep that in mind, along with all the structural things and player take stuff we're doing as well. So I think that's really influenced a lot of how I'm going about drafting and making sure that I'm very intentional with all of my decisions.
Yeah, a lot of great content over there at Leg Up this summer. I forgot, I did not check out. I saw yesterday Pat had teased that they were going to be releasing a new tool. What is that all about? Have you checked out the new tool at all yet, or are you still
I can't say too much, but it's in beta testing. So
okay.
It's being tested. They teased it to some subs. They showed it a little bit. It's
cool. That's all. Okay. They just teased it. They haven't actually released it. Okay. That's good to know.
So
we'll be keeping my eye out for it. All right. We are going to join momentarily. I'll give you guys the 10-second countdown. I didn't realize that it's a full 10 seconds after I join that you guys see what we are when we enter. So I'll give you the 10-second countdown when we enter a draft. Do want to acknowledge people in chat first. Bindles, good to see you. Sacrilegious, Jeremy, Al, Boogie, thank you all for joining us. Hope, appreciate you all being here. Should be a fun time. You should draft with us as well, because we are about to get into one. Let me throw this up here. We're going to get into Best Ball Mania. If you want to join, get in right now. Here's your countdown. Getting in. Okay, good. We only have 2 spots filled. So anybody who wants to draft with us, do you think that's a good thing, Stephanie? Like, we're going to have a lot of people probably who are watching with us, drafting with us. On the one hand, it's like, that's fun. People get to draft with us. On the other, I feel like we've got to worry about snipes a lot more.
Of course. And, especially if you get people that are in the stream, the ones that are watching are already sharper drafters. So, but I think that, there's ways to talk enough without totally showing our hand.
I'm still working on that. How much do you wait until you're on the clock to have these discussions? We could do like in private chat. We could be like Rico Dowdle, throw a name out there, but haven't really done a lot of that. I've talked about doing that with streamers. We don't actually do a lot of that. It's easy to just wait. And then, you have 30 seconds. Hopefully we're on the ball enough that we don't run the timeline down. I also learned that I just need to be starring people, just star somebody that I, would think about. So I don't end up with, I was on Lowell's last week, and we did a draft where we took 2 elite quarterbacks, and then we were done at quarterback, and then accidentally drafted Trevor Lawrence as our 3rd quarterback, completely unstacked. So I at least know I need to star somebody from a position that I like.
Yeah, and I think, maybe talking a little in general, about maybe a couple positions you're looking at structurally for your next picks, even if you don't get into the exact player, works too,
Yeah. Yeah,
Is there a way to
exactly.
make it a tiny bit bigger? Because I'm having trouble seeing, and I want to
The
on your
screen.
screen.
All right, let
Yeah,
me see.
my eye. I don't even wear glasses, but
All right, let's see here. Can try this. Is that better? Is that big enough? Let's see.
well, it's big enough. But now I can't see the
Right
players.
now
Something's
it's
blocking it.
yep. Let's see. I'll try to adjust.
That's better.
Okay.
That should work.
Can I move this? The draft caddy.
Hopefully, I
don't see a way to move the draft caddy.
that should be fine like that. That's better than it
Okay.
was.
All right. Let's see if I can get rid of the branding. Just trying to, figure out. Some people are good at just like knowing how to move the screen around. This is not my
I'm with
strongest
you.
suit. Oh, never mind. Hang on one sec.
No, you're
I'm
fine.
zooming the wrong place. All right. Now got to go back. See how? Yeah, it's not going to work. All right. We'll keep it.
No, the way you had it a second ago was fine before.
Okay.
It blocked.
Cool.
That's
All
good.
right. Perfect. All right. Looks good. Throw the branding back up there, and we're close to full. We need two more in this draft. If anybody wants to draft with us, join us now. Unless you plan on sniping us, then just stay out. Don't bother. Not interested in that. First round. So we don't know what our pick is yet. Do you have any kind of different approach rather than just drafting the chalk, like in order of ADP?
No, in the first round this year, I've been pretty much sticking with it because I want exposure to everybody. I mean, they all have, I think, that upside, especially with the early picks. I'm just going to usually fall in line. I mean, maybe if I end up towards the end of my drafts being really underweight on somebody, then I might make a little more of a stance here or there if it's something I don't like exposure-wise. But other than that, I think you should, for the most part. I don't have any really bad picks in the first round.
Yeah, there's nobody that I hate in the first round. We got the fourth hole here, which is a place where you can get a little bit interesting if you wanted to. So by ADP, I guess it would be Jamar Chase typically here. But I feel like the fourth hole, this is not really consistent where you go. Is this kind of your order here? So this is, we have the leg up rankings in here. McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase. Is that your order of preference there?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
Yep.
And it looks like there's a few non-badges. So, I mean, I'm not sure how many people hopped in. So have to see how wide receiver heavy.
CeeDee Lamb goes 101.
Ooh, maybe somebody must have heard I was a Cowboys fan and wanted to
not going to let us
stick it to me early.
Yeah. Okay. CMC number 2. So we're probably going to get, we'll get either Hill or Chase. Chase goes. So Hill to us at number 4. You good with that?
Oh, I'm very good with that.
Yeah. We'll take our Tyreek Hill. Any concerns about the December weather in Cleveland? Is that a factor for you at all that they play in Cleveland in week 17?
I mean, I don't try to play weather predictor. I mean, that's just me. Once I draft them, I'm going to look at the upside case.
Yeah.
The weather's nice. Everything's fine. Everybody's healthy. We're good. Tyreek is just doing his things and being an alpha and winning the week.
Yeah, I haven't really let it affect me too much, affect the way I draft at least. It's like, it's a moderate concern. Like I'd prefer if he's playing in a dome somewhere in nice weather. But still, he's Tyreek Hill. I think it's worth taking the gamble. I see Freshka is in here with us. Good to see you. Freshka, Alex Keaton in here as well. He is one of the, apparently Alex does not have a badge, but he does draft with us quite a bit.
I know Alex. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a regular still.
Yeah. Alex just made the note that you like to be reminded that it is half point PPR. Is that true? Well, what is this in reference to? I assume that's a story.
I'm not going to say on stream. I'm not going to say on stream, but I'll tell you later.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I already laughed when I saw the comment.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm trying to think what player that could be in reference to. If it was a specific player that you like who might be better in
It's
PPR.
not a player.
Okay.
It's an inside joke.
Okay. I gotcha. But a lot of familiar names here. Anything weird going on yet in this draft? Here, I'll pull up the board. CeeDee Lamb at 101. That's not that uncommon.
No, I
Looks like
see
it's
that
pretty chalk so
happen.
far. Ooh, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. Deep State Comics goes Devonta Smith at 15. So that's a little bit different. Trying to build up that Eagle stack.
Yeah, I mean, that's one that I do think maybe you won't be able to get if you're like going for, that triple later on. I did get it early in the contest,
Yeah.
but I could see it going away. So I mean, if you don't have any exposure to it and want some in your portfolio, I guess I don't absolutely hate it. Because, seems like he's been pulled up some. I've been getting him still though in the third when I start seeding.
Yeah. It used to be like I did some. I don't remember if I did any of these like post draft or after big board. After Best Ball Mania came out. In the big board, you were able to get like I did some where I took AJ Brown, Saquon, and then also Devonta Smith and Jalen Hurts, which I don't know that I actually love that. It was just kind of a fun like get all of the star power for the Eagles on the same team. I don't think you could do that anymore. Like slip Devonta Smith to the late third round and also get Jalen Hurts. I feel like that's probably not going to happen any longer.
I would think so, but if you
Yeah.
could, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I'm not on Saquon really, but I mean, those cases where it's just a bet on the offense, if the offense is great all year, different guys going off at different times could get you there. And, limiting the number of things you have to get right is something I like doing.
All right. I start up
So
Achan. So we have 15 seconds left. We got Devontae Adams. What do you think?
Yeah.
Anybody that you like here?
I mean, let's go
passing.
Achan, and we can do, start off with a stack here and then see what receiver comes back to us.
Okay. Yeah, I like the correlation there. Jalen Waddle went at 19. Yeah, I think I can't decide what to do with HN. Like he clearly has the legendary upside. Like he put up 50 points in a game last year. Like we know that he has the upside. For whatever reason, I'm still like a little bit nervous about him where he's going. I think just because of the way the coaches talk about him, like, oh, he needs to learn the offense. Like he's, and they reached to draft Jalen Wright. So I'm like, I have some concerns there, but do you think there's anything? Do you have any concerns about HN, or do you think he's going to have spike weeks because of the talent?
I mean, he's going to have spike weeks, in my opinion, because of the talent. And the thing is, he's so efficient. He can get there not on the type of volume. I mean, I'm not betting that he's going to be a bell cow. I mean, that's not what the bet is.
Right. If we thought he was going to be a bell cow, he'd be what, the 101? Like, what would he go ahead of?
Yeah. I mean, if you pull up the PFF stats or something, I mean, yeah, he's number one across the board pretty much in almost every category. So it's pretty ridiculous how good he is with the ball in his hands.
Probably something I need to stop worrying about. Just enjoy it because he's so talented.
Miami backs go boom. It was like last year. It was. I mean, I had so many teams where I had Mostert and HN. Unfortunately, Jeff Wilson was also mixed in quite heavily. But and it's kind of. I don't hate doing that again this year. Yeah, I mean, you could.
So this is by the leg up rankings. I don't want to interrupt you, but we have DJ Moore, DK Metcalf, Cooper Kupp. Anybody you like here?
I'm good with any of the receivers, definitely. Okay. Maybe we could do either Moore or Metcalf. I'm good with. I don't know.
Let's just go with the leg up ranks, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go DJ Moore.
I don't have a ton of more, so.
I was just looking at like target share leaders last year, and I couldn't decide what my takeaway was, but both DJ Moore and Keenan Allen were like top 5 in the NFL in terms of target share last year. So I'm like, well, that's obviously not going to happen. Somebody's target share is going to go down, but obviously we don't know who it's going to be. And I'm like, does that mean Rome Odunze is going to have like 0 target share? But it's a new offense for Keenan Allen. Probably nothing really to take away from it, but it was I don't know, just maybe start to think like, what can I do with that information that the Bears have 2 of the top 5 target share leaders from last year? Slight concern.
Yeah, but we are also doing the same thing with the Texans. I mean, there's other offenses we're betting on. I mean, the Bears could just be really good and have a lot of volume. I mean, DJ Moore, again, he's a big play threat. I don't think, I think Keenan might get more, of the underneath stuff and things, but I still think that DJ Moore is going to have some spike weeks. And it seems like a lot of people are kind of off him or soft fading him.
DJ Moore.
Yeah, that I've talked to.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on the price. Like I said, I'm not heavy on him right now. I do think sometimes I like taking, the cheaper guy in these offenses the most often. But here, I mean, it made sense. Just he was there and there was nobody jumping out. I mean, slight concerns across the board with, I think I could make a bear or bull case for everybody. It's very flat here.
Right. Yeah. At the end of the day, he's going to have spike weeks. I can count on that from DJ Moore. Trying to see if
and he's talented. I mean, he's a good receiver. I know that much.
Okay, they're not in the top of target. Oh, Keenan Allen is there. DJ Moore was. Oh, he's down at 12. What was the stat I was looking at? I don't know. All right, so we are coming back around to our pick. And start thinking about. I mean, we could have Amari Cooper would make some sense for us. Probably talking about our upcoming pick a little bit too early with Alex and Freshka still coming up. I don't know if Biff Tannen is watching the stream.
But yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's our week 17.
Yeah.
Correlation. Yeah, but I mean, it's looking like I can't see every pick, but see. But they may. I'll try to give the benefit of the doubt. Is just a wide receiver heavy.
Yeah.
Part of the draft here.
True.
Scroll down a little bit. Who's the next receiver after Christian Kirk?
Keenan Allen, who would actually correlation wise.
Well,
could make sense for us.
I think
Who's ADP?
I'm not. Yeah. What do you think? Do you think it's too big a reach? I can't see all the small numbers. So
I'd be fine just taking one of these tight ends: McBride, Andrews, Kincaid.
Okay, I'm good with doing an elite tight end.
All right, we'll go McBride.
We're gonna have to go pretty heavy on receiver though after that, because
True. I think we only have 2.
I mean, this room we're already kind of getting to a drop off.
See, that's my reason is that I'm like, I know Keenan Allen makes sense from a correlation standpoint, but like just looking at the top receivers here, like I don't feel great about any of them. So I figure might as well just get the elite tight end, see which receivers are available to us on our next pick.
Yeah, I feel a little better about it usually if I have 3 instead of the 2, so then it's like doing running back or the elite.
Right.
It depends on the room. I mean, I've done it both ways.
And now 0 receivers in the last 4 picks since our last one. So that's good. All these QBs climbing off the board.
Yeah, you just got to pick your spots, You can take those detours. It's just where you choose to do them.
Yeah. Are you pretty stringent with the 4 wide receivers through 7 rounds thing?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, that's what all the data shows. I mean, There has been a few cases where I didn't, but.
Do you like Keenan Allen here? He's right at ADP.
I'm good with that. But I like when they come back to you when you were considering them before.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It's like, definitely.
Yeah, I try to just stick with I can take detours, but just if I get 4 through 7 rounds, I feel pretty good about it as long as we're not, having to majorly reach. So I think we're in a good spot here. Got 3.
Yeah, but still, I've learned it's better to not fight if the avalanche is happening. Like even if it's a reach, there's a point.
Is this your fault? The consigliere says that this is your fault. You're bringing the avalanche.
I guess that's what happens when you are on ship chasing sometimes.
Yeah. It's I watch like anything that Pete Overzet does. It's like every single one of them is a wide receiver avalanche room. Luckily, I have avoided that in the rooms that I draft in. People don't go quite as crazy for the wide receivers, but this one, bit wide receiver heavy. Although there's only Freshka's the only one who took 4 in the first 4 rounds. Looks like.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to see who else is in here. I see Nez, and he tends to go.
Well, he's not in the draft
balanced.
list, though.
Oh, he's not. Oh,
no.
See, I told you I can't see names.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
My eyes. I'm like,
I had a better way to.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Just kidding. Then
you can. You can.
It was a short name, and I was like, ooh.
Do you have it on full screen?
No.
It's still pretty small. I'm just like, it's easier for me because I can see like the full screen, the full draft screen, but it might help you a little bit if you just put.
Oh no, that's a huge. No, I got that. That's huge.
Okay,
I
good.
feel special. Anyone that knows me and my tech savviness is probably laughing right now. So it's pretty well known.
Oh, you
I'm
can see
there
it
with
now. You can see
Silva.
it better.
Yeah, much
Okay,
better.
good.
I do know the person in two. It was a short name,
You know
so I'll
Mies?
give myself
Okay.
that. I know who that is. Yeah, he's in a dynasty, one of my dynasty leagues I've run.
Must be good. He's got the goat horns.
Means you won something.
Exactly. I say that because I have the goat horns, of course. So I gotta play him up since I've got the goat horns.
So what do you have to win exactly for the goat horns?
Just any battle royale. So
okay.
for me, it was like a golf contest. So they don't have weekend long as far as I know, but it was a showdown PGA, which I know nothing about PGA. So yeah, it doesn't say a whole lot, I guess.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I think it's very impressive those people that do the multi sports, but one's enough for my brain.
Yeah, no,
I don't know how like Badge Bros and them do it
yeah,
across
they
the board.
do everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about getting into WNBA now because I can't just like, I'm on the one hand, I think there might be big edge because hasn't been a really popular DFS sport. On the other hand, I'm like, it could just be all like sickos who are doing every single sport are going to be in it. So I go back and forth on whether that's something I want to try to get into because Underdog just started doing big contests there.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, getting in early is where there is going to be an edge if
I know
you can find one.
All right, so we have yeah, and Rome goes.
Yeah, so pull up all the wide receivers. Just hit that tab.
I don't hit Godwin.
Yeah, I'm good with Godwin or Brian Thomas, either one. Or yeah,
we could push.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think.
Well, we have I'll tell you later.
Okay. All right.
Tell you next few picks, but yeah, I'm good with Godwin if you want to. I don't have very much. He's hopefully will be playing more in the slot this year and see a better role again.
All right, I'll check our private chat if you want to send me the name, or do you want to just wait until we're on the clock?
Yeah,
I think I might have an idea who you're thinking.
You're not. I'm like, it's not my favorite player, but it correlates. So I'll give you that.
Okay, I think that I know who you're talking about then, but I guess we'll see. And we do have the 4 wide receivers. So we are, if we were just following the 4 through 7, we are good. But we can see what's available. I do like a falling Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, we didn't have that on.
Right. I know you wrote about Rashee Rice.
I did.
One of your Dynasty articles.
Yeah, I mean the talent's there.
Yeah. Was that written before all the legal issues? Okay. So that hurts
quite a bit before, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
It was right. I wrote it like actually Marquise Brown was signed, I think the day before I was going to release it, and then I edited it to add a bunch of stuff.
Oh, funny.
So I remember it happened exactly.
All right, Kenneth Walker goes. Was JSN who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Do you want to do it? I mean, neither of us loves him, but I think that he's still a good pick just from.
This is how you make yourself, I think, get exposure to guys that you might still be a little underweight on, because
I also don't hate him. Like I've heard good arguments. I think Sean Siegel really likes JSN. Like there are sharp people who are on him, so I'm open to it.
Yeah, Sean loves him. He's definitely not afraid to he's not afraid to lean into his picks.
No, not at all. I don't think I'm gonna. I'm not gonna stream all 150. I don't think I'm gonna do 150 in the double dribble. I'm not as confident in my season-long NBA best ball. I did love it for playoff best ball. Like I thought NBA was super fun for that. It's also just a little bit easier for me. I'm not sure that I want to get into season-long NBA best ball. You said you just do NFL, Stephanie. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, I know that like NBA takes up a lot of time. I mean, for DFS and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. The nice thing about NFL
is that intensive.
Right. And it's just a grind every single day. Whereas
Yeah.
NFL, I mean, even NFL, I feel like people who are serious about it are kind of grinding it every day, but it's like it's grinding a little bit every day for a slate that's on Sunday, as opposed to like grinding for hours every day for a new slate every single day is just
Yeah.
yeah, it's a different level of grind.
And all those injury updates and things are like
Yeah.
where the killer is.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And just like you gotta adjust after like throughout the evening after you get more and more injury news. Okay, Ferguson goes. So here would be a um good time to talk about Ferguson. So uh you said that you have a take on Ferguson. You are a Cowboys fan. This has been the hot topic all week. Do you want to share your thoughts on Ferguson, where he's going? Is he too high, too low? Are you in? Are you out? What are you thinking
I
there?
mean, I'm in on him. I think he's priced pretty appropriately. He's a little below the elite guys, but I mean, I think there's a good chance he's the second receiver on the team. I expect the Cowboys. I mean, I don't know if you saw what they did in their run game this offseason, but it wasn't a shitload. So hopefully I can cuss. I apologize.
You can cuss on this channel.
Okay.
I mark it as
But
not
I
for
mean,
kids.
okay. But I mean, hopefully, if they're going to have to lean on the pass, they have to throw to somebody. And, they use him a lot. I mean, Dax always liked his tight ends. We saw it with Schultz. It doesn't have to be the most talented guy. Schoonmaker has been hurt again. He hasn't so far shown anything.
All right. So looks
Yeah,
like
we're on the
Kyler. I
clock
didn't even
here.
think about Kyler. We could go with Caleb here. We could probably push him since nobody
I'm
has any
fine
bears.
pushing him,
Yeah.
even though we have it, just because of what it looks like. I mean, with
Do you like James
so
Conner,
much.
Tony Pollard? Do you like doing the double click Miami? What do you think?
I don't look to do the double in Miami, so Connor would be good. I don't have a ton of him, and he's somebody I kind of think
All
I
right.
should have more of to
We also have
balance
the
out my
correlation with
Benson.
Trey McBride. That was more just like we had minimal
Oh,
time
yeah.
left, so I just had to click
No, you're
somebody there, and
good.
I couldn't think of anybody else. I guess we could have gone Njoku would have made sense there for us too, as a bring back for the Miami pieces.
Yeah, we
Oh,
could have done that.
so I guess we have both Caleb and Tua could be
Yeah.
interesting. Tua, man, I didn't realize that Tua's ADP all the way down to 122 now. He had previously been like around 100. That's interesting.
Well, that's the thing. It's like this group. I mean, you'll see a lot of the quarterbacks drop, especially in the rooms that tend to go wide receiver heavy. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I want it, but I want to push it as much as possible and get as much value there.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the one person that takes a quarterback a little ahead of ADP or right at ADP. And then you see like all these guys getting 20, 30 picks of value because it's like, then it feels like those teams are so much stronger than yours.
Right.
Because it's
Well,
like if
here,
worse comes to worse and you have to make a late stack. But here I'm good to, it's a little ahead, but I mean, we're strong. Let's take Caleb.
yeah, I don't think he's
This
coming back
feels
to us
fine.
because the other Alex has the other piece
Yeah.
of Chicago, so I would assume that he would take him if he comes back around the next turn. So,
And we're strong enough. We have enough receivers. Like if I felt like I was really light, then I would consider, pushing it. But as long as I have, we got 5 at this point. I mean, I feel pretty balanced. We got a good tight end. So we're still in a 2 tight end build there. How do you feel about going 2 quarterbacks with Caleb, or is that a 3 quarterback build for you?
I think I'm okay with 2. If we go Tua on the next turn, I think I'd be totally fine going 2. If we push it and take Geno Smith or something, then maybe I'd think about going 3. Are you worried at all about all the like camp news about like Caleb just not connecting with his receivers?
I'm not yet. I mean, I still believe that Caleb's a really good talent. So, I mean, we'll see. There's, I want to see what's actually on the field. I mean, it seems like they also like to hate on Caleb. So I feel like there's a little bit of
Yeah, I think that could be it
this
too.
rhetoric. I don't know how much is, actionable yet. But we'll see.
It is also as Scott Barrett pointed when I talked to him, and this kind of immediately came to mind when these reports were coming out. People saying like, "Oh, Jamar Chase can't catch the ball, can't catch the NFL ball." They're like some of the rumors that come out. It's like I don't know. I'm more into like coach speak at this point in the year, like hearing how the coaches are planning on using players
Yeah.
than the reports are like, "Oh, he doesn't look very good," and I don't know, just a lot of
Exact.
noise.
No, I'm the same way. It's like I want to hear who's running with who,
Right.
like what formations they're doing. I want to hear those type of facts, not somebody's opinion or playing up some situation that might not even matter. Like you say, the way they're running a practice.
Right. Did I hear you
You
say
know,
that you're drafting a lot of Trey Benson? Just want to touch
a
on that real
decent
quick.
amount.
Okay.
So it's one of those things that like I don't feel strong enough that he's going to be like the wide or the running back one on that team. I mean, Connor was good for them.
Right.
He's done great. I mean, now he's older, he could get hurt. The rookie could come on more late season, but I mean, there's nothing in his draft capital. It wasn't taken so early that I think like they drafted him to replace Connor. So I think Connor's still going to have a role. So it's like, even though, yeah, he's older, could be a little dusty, I still think he's somebody we should not be fading. I mean, we saw him still put up the numbers. I mean, he looked good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm in the same camp as you of like, I'm more in on Trey Benson than James Conner in general, but I do I agree. The fade is kind of scary on James Conner just because he gets it done every year. Like I feel like I've been fading him and been regretting it. So got to take shares here and there. I'm glad we took him on this team. I think he made sense for this team.
I mean, especially where he's going. It's not like it's an early bet either. And he does have that upside, to really carry a team.
Right.
It's not like when he was going in the third round a couple years ago and stuff.
So I feel like we could push Tua to 124 probably because Freshka has Waddle. We have the other two pieces. All right, we are on the clock.
Do
We're
the
at
other
1, 2,
guys
5,
have?
1.
I didn't see if they had. Yeah, I think we can with who's there because you want to go Chase Brown.
Also, my God, Dak is still there. What is going on in this draft? I'd be fine with Chase Brown.
Yeah,
I like Gus
like I said,
Edwards
you'll
too.
see him.
I feel like one of those two makes the most sense, whereas Chase Brown, Gus Edwards.
I mean, I tend to lean Brown, but I won't fight you.
No, that's perfect. Let's do it. He is higher in the ranks. Are you not a Gus Edwards fan in general? I feel like I'm in on him this year. He seems to be another pretty polarizing player.
I mean, again, I just don't think. Well, he offers nothing in the pass game,
Right.
I mean, but I do think he'll have the goal line role. So it's like, yeah, I think he'll have a role. I just don't know how good he really is still. But he knows the offense, obviously. I mean, they brought him in specifically. So I don't think he's a bad pick in that range, but he's not a priority target.
Yeah, I like him where he's going. I wouldn't call him a huge priority for me, but I aim to be overweight on Gus. I think just from he's been good enough. I agree with you. Like we don't really know whether he's talented because he's been with Lamar. Like Lamar's just going to make him more efficient. So it's really hard to know how much of it is just the Lamar effect. But still, if he's just an average talent, I think like he can beat out J.K. Dobbins and Kamani Vidal is kind of my thinking, and it's going to be a run first team. So I'm pretty in, but not like a huge priority. Do you want to just go Tua here? Get our second quarterback out of the way?
Yeah. And sometimes that's nice because then you don't even have to, you can shut down a position, not have to think about it.
I'm feeling good about this team. So
we're pretty strong everywhere.
Yeah, we're in a good position.
It's pretty balanced.
I'll read it off. We have Caleb Williams and Tua at quarterback. At running back, we have Devin Achane, James Conner, Chase Brown. Wide receiver, we have Tyreek Hill, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Chris Godwin, JSN. And at tight end, we have Trey McBride. I feel really good about this. I feel like I'm trying to be cognizant of like leaving myself out at multiple positions with like some of the things that I've read recently about like, I know Hayden Winks has put out a lot of stuff on like getting ADP values like just makes you better, which, it's kind of intuitive. Like if you get a lot of ADP values, your team is going to do better. But like the advance rate stuff, I think even the sim stuff in the finals suggests that like getting those great ADP values is a pretty important thing. So I'm like, kind of wonder if we need to be building more like this where you give yourself more outs later. I prefer doing this as opposed to like 6 straight wide receivers to start the draft or like going bully running back to start the draft. Does that make sense? Like just like I'm trying to like build out in a way so that I can just take whatever value comes to me rather than being forced to like I need wide receivers with my next pick. So I kind of like building out in this way. Is that something that you try to do, or do you do a lot of the just like hammer wide receivers early?
Sometimes what you're saying makes a lot of sense. I will go heavy wide receivers, and probably not 6, because I think
Yeah.
there's a point of diminishing returns at the
Right.
position.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, for what you're betting on. But yeah, I mean, it's like you want to, and especially I'll use the example more with like a hyper fragile running back approach. If
Yeah.
you take, say, like those, 3 early, then you can't take any kind of advantage at that running back position. If something falls, it's like, oh, that position is no longer for you. Like you made these bets for you to be optimal with the team now you're choosing, and whatever position you went so heavy at. It's like there's a point where you can't, like you say, take that value. So
Right.
you're closing yourself off into a very specific structure early. And I do like having the flexibility. I also like, in our case, it's not important here, this draft, because we have our 2 quarterbacks. But, I'll like to work in options as well, of like finding maybe a tiebreaker for a guy that I know has a good later quarterback or things like that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We could add Cole Kmet here to our Chicago stack.
Yeah,
I'll start
I
him up.
like that.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking for like, is there like Jerry Jeudy, Nick Chubb? Doesn't look. I think they both went, so we don't have.
I was gonna no.
Cleveland.
I'm not gonna break. I'd rather go on our main quarterback stack than worrying
Yep.
about the bring back,
Yep. Yeah. Me too. Definitely a bigger priority.
especially
me.
when it's Jerry Jeudy.
Right. You're not a Jerry Jeudy believer.
I mean, I'll take him in correlation. I do take him a little
Yeah.
bit, but I mean, he's not somebody I'm going to go out of my way to like reach on.
I'm trying to increase my exposure there because I was so out on him pre-draft and like and in early drafts. So I'm like, I have heard. I think even Pat is like somewhat in on Jerry Jeudy. I'm trying to be. Is he the one that Sack is in chat? Is he the one that Sack hates?
Sack hates it.
Okay, yeah. So maybe Sack would like my exposure currently to Jerry Jeudy, which is pretty light. But I do think he's like, if he's going to have the number 2 wide receiver opportunity, even if he is just a guy, as Steve Smith says, like I think that just the opportunity is probably good enough that where he's going, he might be a win.
Yeah, I mean, I do take him some. I mean, I'm not at 0. He's not a hard fit or anything, and in correlation makes sense. But I mean, now I feel like we could be done at all the both 1C positions.
Yeah.
And just focus on quarterback and running back and wide receiver, that's kind of a place I like to be in, honestly. I feel more comfortable. And then it's like sometimes you get a bonus pick. Like sometimes if it's on the line, I might go, I could do 3 if I really wanted to at something.
Yeah, if Baker Mayfield falls to like the last round, and I mean we've got Chris Godwin, throw him on there. Why not?
Yeah, I don't mind if it's correlated or a third tight end, even in the last.
Yeah,
something, whatever the best player on the board is. It's nice to be able to feel strong enough everywhere to have that.
Anybody that you like at the top of the board here? Ty Chandler, Ricky Pearsall.
I think let's see. Is Polk there? Pearsall's there. Where are we
Polk
at?
is not there.
Oh, let's go. We can do Pearsall. Let's get it fun. I don't, because the wide receiver I feel like dries up.
It
We've still got a lot of running backs, and we didn't wait too late on our running backs. I could see Connor, like if we believed he could be a bell cow for the most of the season, and then Achane having those spike weeks. I mean, we have a fairly solid room.
I think so too. I think that we built out in a way that we have optionality. Our team looks good. So yeah, Pearsall has not been a huge target for me, but you can see like if he does get the opportunity, he's going to be a smash. It's just like I am a little bit more nervous about him than the other rookie receivers around him, just in terms of he's pretty buried right now, but it would just take one thing for him to open up and be a smash there. So I like him on this team.
I just don't really like a lot of the receivers really late. I mean, I'm finding, they're drying up fast. So it's like I'm just trying to mix in these spots where we already are pretty strong. I think we have with our early bets, But yeah, I mean, I like Burton better. I mean,
me too.
Or Polk or some guys like that I have a lot more of.
You have a Roman Wilson versus Pearsall? You have a strong take there?
They're similar. I mean, I liked them both as pros. Like I was in on both of them pre-draft quite a bit. And I mean, there's kind of, I think maybe Wilson obviously has more open more
Yeah.
a better chance of having a role, but the offense might be a lot worse. So it's kind
Right.
of and less pass volume. So it's kind of, a little bit of a toss up there.
True. Yeah, I agree. Consigliere says Pearsall is better in this build because you already have the QB, so you don't want those. Yeah, you don't need to be doing like the late round quarterback. That's a good call out there. Yeah, I'm sad that we did not have a Cowboys player, so we could take Dak there. As Via Hype says, 27 pick fall on Dak. That is pretty wild. That seems very late for Dak.
I mean, he was the quarterback 3 last year, and people were taking. It's like we've reacted by making him. He's going at like the quarterback 9, and he's been slowly falling. Like I've looked at the ADP, like he keeps going down. And like I said, I think the pass volume, even though the offense, they didn't, they don't have a lot of really strong players necessarily, but I think they're going to be forced to pass a lot.
Right.
And they showed they wanted to. They were, they had like a 2.7% pass rate over expectation last year. So we saw what the offense was like, which was very surprised with McCarthy and Shoddy,
right.
leading it. So, and like I said, I mean, there's no way they're going to be effectively leaning on the run heavily. So,
right. All right. So we are at 2-3-6-2, probably just hammering wide receiver, running back the rest of the way. Are you a big believer in anybody here? Ray Davis, Jaleel McLaughlin, Marvin Mims, Vidal, anybody you like here?
Let's go ahead. I'm good with. Why don't we do Davis?
Okay, that's the wrong answer, but I'll do it anyway.
I didn't have a strong lean. I was just
I'm kidding.
I was trying to. I was like, I was okay with Mims.
I'm 100%
Pushback.
100% joking. I like Jaleel McLaughlin. But I do have some concerns there, and I draft him so much more than Davis that I like taking Davis here. I guess, do you worry about the bye week thing at all? I guess he has the same bye week as Chase Brown, but like we're drafting,
not for 2 of them.
Yeah,
I don't get overly. I'm bad about paying too much attention. I mean, I'll notice if they're like all the same bye week, but I'm not obsessive. I do try to avoid it, like at the 1C positions and places. I mean, I don't want zeros. That can obviously hurt your team.
Yeah. I think same page there. It's a tiebreaker for me sometimes. Like I guess that would have been a tiebreaker for Jaleel when it's kind of a toss up for me. But I have so much more Jaleel than Ray Davis, and I don't want to be boxed out of Ray Davis. So when you say Ray Davis, I'm like, I'm happy to just take Ray Davis because I need to get more exposure there. He has the upside for what, 12 touchdowns as the goal line back in Buffalo. So happy to
I mean, I do like Cook, but I could still think they're going to give some work to somebody. And I mean, they could be more run heavy this year. But I'm with you. I mean, Jaleel was pre-draft probably one of my highest exposures.
Oh, nice.
So I am heavy. I'm not as heavy post-draft just because there's so many guys, and I wish they cut P. Ryan. All right.
Anybody you like here?
Let's do Baker or
I know he's a big leg up guy.
Well, we're just in on all the Patriots. But I mean, like I said, I kind of like to just finish up with these upside receivers before it totally dries up.
Do you like the late round running backs better than late round receivers?
Right now I do. I'm finding more stuff. And then I don't want to say it yet, but I have somebody in mind a little later to finish our thing.
All right, that's what I like to hear. We're in a good position still. Like we have built out optionality on this team. We're at 2-4-7-2, so likely done at quarterback, tight end. We could take one more if it comes to us, but I'm feeling good about this team. We definitely need at least one more running back. But in general, I think this is a strong team here with 3 picks left.
I'm thinking it into your head, but because I'm afraid if I go off the full screen to try to find the private chat, it'll be all over.
All right. Well, I mean, you can just say it once we get to our pick too. We have 30 seconds. We'll be good.
We're pretty early before this one would come into play. Okay. It's a little bit later.
Yeah. I mean, we can reach a little bit at this point in the draft. Like we don't have to worry that much about ADP. Like if you feel strongly that this player is like a player that we want on this team, we can just go get him. But we'll see.
Maybe another round before that happens.
Cool. As a Cowboys fan, how do you feel about the running back situation? Do you have any strong opinion about Zeke versus Rico versus like somebody being traded there?
I mean, I have no idea what Jerry's doing
Right.
because I mean, I keep looking, I mean, I wanted somebody to get traded, but then, at some point, I'm just kind of capitulating that Jerry is not doing it. I mean, because I mean, I saw, oh, Cowards are working out players. And I like click on the link of the article and it's like all these defensive guys from the USFL. There's like literally no skill. It's like he does not think he needs wide receivers or running back
Right.
like the rest of us do,
Right.
like of whatever he's seeing. So I do think that both Zeke and Rico are great picks right now because
Yeah.
I do think the offense is still going to somehow get a score. I mean, they've been one of the highest scoring offenses in the regular season for several years. So I mean, that's not an offense I'm going to fade. So even though I'm kind of a notorious for being a Zeke hater, I do have a pretty good exposure, and I think Rico might be my highest
Oh, really?
exposure player at the moment. Because I'll try to pass on him, and then he'll just come back to me like even a round or two later. And
Actually, me too. Like I'm not trying to take a big stand on Rico. The last time I checked, I think he was actually my highest exposed running back. He might still be. So I think the same thing happens to me where I'm like, I'm not going on my way to get him, but it feels like he falls past ADP so frequently. And it's like he could be the starting running back on the Cowboys. So I'm gonna take that bet if he falls to like 145 and I need a running back. I think it's just a good bet.
yeah, I mean, agree. And it's like for the structure, I do a lot of zero RB and stuff. That's just a place where I'm tend to be taking running back.
Tyrone Tracy, a guy that Scott Barrett is high on,
Go
which
go
could
to the RBs. We may actually.
you want me to scroll
Uh,
down.
no, you don't have to. Why don't we go ahead and do Foreman? That's who I was talking about for our
Okay.
bring back.
Oh yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, he is somebody that I would be concerned that he's going to get sniped.
I was going to not be, but yeah, for some reason, a lot of running backs have gone a
Yeah,
lot more than I thought. And I
yeah,
do,
I
I
like
do
Foreman.
think we need
Like I think
running
it's
back
it's
more than receiver.
probably Jerome Ford's. Like he's probably the starting running back to start the year, but like there's a non-zero chance that Foreman beats him out. I think not a
Or at
particularly
least
high
works
chance.
in for a role. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, right.
at, for this price. I mean, what I am confident is Chubb's not going to be starting. I feel pretty confident there.
Do you think at some point in the year Chubb is going to be starting, or are you confident that he's not going to the entire year?
I'm not confident the whole year,
Okay, yeah,
but I
that's
do
me too.
think he's not gonna. There's a good chance I don't think he's very efficient when he does come back, though.
Right.
Or, you know, just I mean, it's a significant injury. He's not cheap enough for me yet. I have taken him maybe once when he's fallen. I mean, but he has to fall really,
Yeah.
really fall, and it
Mm,
has to be the right build for me, like somewhere where I think I could withstand it, where it's like kind of an extra pick,
yeah.
where it's just would be a
Same
home
page.
run.
Um,
Why don't you
I
just
kind
click
of
on running back and receiver so we can just see because we don't need anything else.
true.
What were you going to say you like?
I like these running. I like both Tyrone Tracy and Eli Mitchell. I'll just star them up. Um, yeah,
I'm been a little less Tracy. I'll still take him some, but we could do Mitchell or CEH. I do too. I know that's gross, but I think he's the number two back that we
I
know,
I
both
know.
of them.
I was so out on CEH for a while. I was like, why are people drafting this guy that we know isn't very good, even when he's a starter? And the more and more I think about it, I'm like, yeah, he really is. He's a second running back on the Chiefs. Like he doesn't need to be that good to pay off
No,
where he's going in draft. So I think I am back in on CEH also. I hate being back in on CEH, but I
we,
think I'm with you. I think he just makes sense.
I mean, yeah. Same time, I mean, Mitchell as well. I mean, it's a good pick. I mean, where were we taking him last year? And it's the exact same rule.
Yeah, as a
I mean,
consigliere
really
points out,
early.
Mitchell does stack with Pearsall. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that, but that's a good
Yep.
call out. We have a lot of nice like secondary correlations on this team too.
Yeah. And I like, you don't need a quarterback to stack. You can work those in, these many correlations and things, whether it's just team related or full on game stacks.
Fly Reese Fly thought that you were talking about Deuce. So I want your take on Deuce Vaughn. Are you drafting any?
Maybe I have like one share, but not recently. I mean, he's not even running with the first team.
Right.
So, I mean, even, and we always hear they're running somebody out of the slot. I mean, it seems like they get on players for like gadget roles, but they don't look beyond that. I don't know. I feel like the Cowboys tend to just get stuck. Like people I've seen, even talk about, oh, well, what about Turpin? It's like, I just don't think they're ever going to really use him as a receiver. They should.
Yeah. He had some.
I mean, they
nice
might have
games last
a
year.
play here or there, but like they're still, even when they had so many injuries and needed somebody, like they never pulled the trigger to do it.
Right. Yeah. Probably just not happening. Probably just a special teams
Don't
guy.
think they're creative. They're just not creative in that way.
Yeah. All right. So
we should go receiver for our last pick.
All right. Yeah. I'll read off the team. Let's see. Do I have time to read off the team?
Why don't you click the wide receiver button so I can see who's there?
I've starred more just for the correlation. We could go one of the other Miami guys. We go Malik Washington if he's there. I'll star him up just as potential pick. Or just if there's anybody else you like here, I'm happy to go somewhere else.
I mean, no. There's no fun guys there, really.
Yeah, there's really not. There's not
like they all got taken. No. I don't think they like him, and I mean, I don't think they're going to be. There's not going to be enough.
You like more Malik Washington? Who's your pick?
More.
All right, we got him. We're going. Oh, I almost let it run down without clicking it. Just let the auto pick go, and then I remembered last second that you can get beat out by the if you set positional limits. And I don't think I would have there. We only have 8, so it would have been fine either way. But I have had that happen to me on stream before, where I just let it run down, and then it's like, oh shit, it did not take who I wanted it to take because I have positional limits on, and that is the worst.
Ooh, see, I don't have positional limits set, so I haven't run into that. But I remember people talking about that.
I think it actually happened to me. I don't know if this happened on that stream. There was a stream last year. No, it wasn't this that happened. There was a stream where I drafted with Derek Brown, and we had decided on Puka Nacua as the 18th round pick. And then for whatever reason, I think I just had clicked out of it because somebody sent me a super chat and I was answering a question, clicked out of it, and we accidentally took Taysom Hill instead of Puka Nacua, which actually didn't end up being the worst pick in the world because Taysom did have his spike weeks, but man, it was brutal just not to get Puka in round 18 when we wanted him.
Especially when you were going to take Puka. It's like to be on him and then want to take him and then not, that hurts.
Oh, Via, I forgot. He says, you remember me, Neil? I'm Blake's brother. My screen name is Choose. Yeah, I knew that I knew that name. I could not remember why. I drafted with B Sandark. Blake is Via Hype is Blake's brother. So good to have you back drafting with us via Hype. All right, that was my 50th BBM draft. How many are you at now, Stephanie?
36, 37, I think, somewhere in there. I've been trying to pace myself.
I believe you said on when you were on the Dog Pound show that you are planning on maxing this out.
Yeah, I think I'm going to max this year. I really like the way they're doing the payout structures. It makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Because I didn't max last year, but yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at that. He was I pulled up your exposures from last year. We'll go over our teams from this year, but looks like you must have had a decent year last year, at least in terms of advancement. Obviously, a lot of luck comes into play in the actual playoff rounds. But I mean, Jalen Warren was a nice hit. Breece Hall was an absolute smash last year. So it must have been a pretty good year for you.
Yeah, I don't remember my exact advance rate, but I did have 3 teams in the top.
3 teams in the top 10,000, like on the leaderboard. Oh, damn! So you paid.
One was and then I had a puppy 2 team that was in the top 100 also.
Yeah.
So yeah, I came out on top last year overall.
Nice.
But but I had pretty strong advance rates across the board. I think I might have been close to 20%. There were points in the season I was higher. Like I was very high for a while.
Nice. I mean, that's pretty solid. And just, I mean, making money in a season in Ball Mania, that's tough. Like that's just most of us are not making money most years, so we'll take those profitable years.
Oh, exactly. And that's why I can max this year.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm going to read off our team. We'll read off a couple of the teams that drafted with us, people that were in chat with us. This is interesting. Hope asks, so OBJ, you think behind Washington? Gonna have to dig into this. I don't have a strong take there. I'm that's more of he's an exciting rookie. Where I do draft OBJ sometimes in stacks, just as a maybe they respect the vet, give him the targets. Do you have a take there, Steph?
I mean, we all thought OBJ was going to be out there like for the playoffs, and they didn't use him
I
at
know.
all. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I just think he might be done. And I'm always going to bet, if we're betting for the end of the season, I would bet on the rookie coming on more than OBJ lasting, honestly.
Yep, exactly.
That's kind of how I'm looking at it. But I mean, neither are a super strong bet. I mean, I just think that offense is so concentrated, between Hill and Waddle. And I mean, Hope is also a Miami fan, though, so there might be a little bias here.
So Hope is
So
hoping.
I know she really likes our Tyreek Hill pick. I know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
That's her favorite.
I mean, our team is pretty good then. If you're a Miami fan, I think our team is looking pretty good. All right. Well, let me read off the teams and we can give our reviews of the teams. All right. So I'll start with our team. We go Caleb Williams and Tua at quarterback. Running back, we have Devin Achane, James Conner, Chase Brown, Ray Davis, Deontay Foreman, Eli Mitchell. At wide receiver, we have Tyreek Hill, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Chris Godwin, JSN, Ricky Pearsall, Javon Baker, Eli Moore. And at tight end, we have Trey McBride and Cole Kmet. So starting with positional, I think that we're strong enough at every position. What do you think, Steph?
Yeah, I think it's a well-structured team. I do have actually several guys I don't normally take a lot of, so it's kind of funny they all ended up together, but I think it makes sense. I think we got some solid veterans. We got some fun rookies mixed in. I think it's a good team.
Correlation-wise, we have Caleb with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Cole Kmet, and then we have the bring back of JSN. So we do have that nice Week 17 correlation as well as inter-team correlation, and then we also have Tua with Devin Achane and Tyreek Hill. We didn't go Jonnu. I didn't even think about Jonnu. I guess we could have thrown John. I don't know where he went in the draft. We could have thrown him on the team, but we definitely didn't need him. We also have the bringbacks of Elijah Moore and Deontay Foreman. So nice Week 17 correlation. All in all, I feel good about this team.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I don't hate Jonnu. That's a late round tight end, especially correlated. But I think we're fine with McBride. And I mean, we went early and still kind of a mid-ish with, Kmet. I'm very comfortable too there.
All right. Well, we're going to do another draft. I'll go quickly through these other teams. We're not going to do a deep dive in them. I'll just read them off really quickly. Get like at a glance, any thoughts at a glance on these teams, any big issues, or just you like the team. We'll start with Via Hype was in chat, says, so he has CJ Stroud, Dak Prescott at quarterback. At running back, Raheem Mostert, Tony Pollard, Rico Dowdle, Khalil Herbert, Braylon Allen, Damian Pierce. Wide receiver as CeeDee Lamb, Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, Brian Thomas, Deontay Johnson, Brandon Cooks, Gabe Davis, Jalen Tolbert, and at tight end, Mark Andrews and Jatavian Sanders. So I'm seeing Houston, CJ Stroud with Damian Pierce, Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs. And then the bring back of Mark Andrews on that one. So love the correlation with that piece. Dak Prescott with Rico Dowdle. Of course, Dak Prescott at pick 120, I should point out, with Rico Dowdle. That's insane. Oh, and CeeDee Lamb. So he actually,
I was like, he has CeeDee. So surprised he let him, and Cooks. I mean, so I'm surprised he let him fall that far. I guess that's what he did. Did he grab Cooks before that?
At the same turn, he grabbed Cooks and Dak at the 121 turn.
Yeah, I mean, that team turned out pretty good.
He had Stroud, so I guess it made sense to push Dak Prescott just to not go double elite quarterback. Yeah. But then when he falls to 120, that is a damn good draft, I think.
No, I mean, I think those were the right decisions as well. Like you say, when you have, because it's one of those that sometimes just because you have the correlation, you want to take that second elite guy, but it's like you already made one decision. You shouldn't really do it unless they fall to that point, which he did. So he eked out that extra value.
Yeah, that worked out really well for him.
So yeah.
Doesn't have any Eagles springbacks for Week 17 on his Dak stack, but at the end of the day, I think this is just a really strong draft. Not overly concerned with that. You said you know me's. I don't think he was in chat. If you are in chat and want us to look at your team, happy to just let us know. I know Freshco was here. He took Geno Smith and JJ McCarthy. He loves doing the going kind of light at quarterback thing. Geno Smith, JJ McCarthy, his only quarterbacks, to me is a
Yeah,
little bit thin. What do you think, Steph?
yeah. I mean, I will stay at 2 quite often, but that's way too thin.
Yeah, I would have
Not
taken a third
not
on that one.
not that late. I mean, if I do, sometimes I'll stay at 2 with like, Tua or T Law, somewhere
Yeah,
in there of taking,
right.
but
Somebody who has
no.
the upside to just go atomic, and I don't think that either Geno or Jaden McCarthy has the upside to be like a top 6 quarterback. So I would prefer a
And
third
there's
there,
still
but
some risk. I mean, with them
both
to
of them,
like,
both of them could
yeah,
miss. Like JJ might not start the year, Geno might not finish the year. Yeah, there's definitely some
exactly.
risk on this team. He has Aaron Jones, Amir White, Trey Benson, Gus Edwards, Antonio Gibson, Roshan Johnson at running back. That seems perfectly fine to me. Wide receivers, Justin Jefferson, Jalen Waddle, DK Metcalf, George Pickens, Jaden Reed, DeAndre Hopkins, Romeo Dobbs, and at tight end, TJ Hawkinson, Noah Fant, and Chigakonkwa. So he does have the Minnesota double with Jefferson and Hawkinson. He had Jaden Reed and Romeo Dobbs coming back on that one. And then he has Geno Smith with DK Metcalf, Noah Fant, no Bears. No Bear. Oh, he has
No, he's
Roshan with
got
the
he's got
Bears.
Roshan.
Yeah. So yeah, nicely correlated. I would my one note would be too thin at quarterback for my liking. Anything else, Stephanie?
I think it's too thin at tight end. I don't like.
Oh, really?
I'm
You worried about
well,
TJ Hawkinson?
yeah. I mean, I think he's going to definitely miss at least half the season, if not the whole thing. And again, I don't know how efficient he's going to be coming back. And then pairing him with 2 other late round guys feels thin. I'd like it better if maybe there was an elite guy and then you took him if he fell, maybe, and then maybe doing a really late guy or something like that.
Yeah, it's you're making a bet here
I
on
would,
either
I'd
Noah
want
Fant
to,
or
yeah.
Chigakonkwo taking a step forward. I think I'm more okay with the tight end room than the quarterback room, just because I mean, if TJ Hawkinson does come back midway through the year, it's a little. I see what you're saying now with the 3, but I think that I'm glad that he has 3 instead of 2. I guess it's at least he has that going for it. But yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
That is, if you don't believe TJ Hawkinson is going to come back and be good when he comes back, then it's a little bit thin there. Yeah, definitely some concern. Alex goes Jaden Daniels, Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. At running back, he has Bijan Robinson, Alvin Kamara, Jalen Warren, Austin Eckler, Jalen Wright, Tyrone Tracy. At wide receiver, he has Chris Olave, Cooper Kupp, Amari Cooper, Roma Dunze, A.D. Mitchell, Jahan Dotson, Malachi Corley, Jalen McMillan. And at tight end, he has Dalton Kincaid and Isaiah Likely. Jaden Daniels is with Jahan Dotson. Does he have Atlanta bring back? I thought I saw one. No
He's
Atlanta
got
bring back.
Bijan.
Oh,
Bijan
yeah, that's
Robinson.
right. He does have Bijan. That's a good bring back. Also has Eckler on that build. So some nice correlation
Yep.
there. And then Aaron Rodgers with Malachi Corley.
Corley.
Who are the Jets playing? Oh, they're playing Bills. He has Dalton
Yeah, the
Kincaid bring
Buffalo.
back. So yeah, from a correlation standpoint, looks good. I'm fine with this quarterback room. I like the upside of Jaden
Yeah.
Daniels quite a bit. I think those two pair well together. Any other thoughts here, Steph?
I think it's a solid team. I like if you're going to take Jaden, just betting that he is him and has
Yeah,
that huge,
right.
monster rushing season. And then I do kind of like putting him with the pocket passer, just
I do
somebody that can
too.
give you those stable weeks, maybe if there was one
Yeah.
that,
I go back and forth
he
on whether that
didn't.
actually makes sense, but I feel the same way of like
Yeah.
taking the rushing guy and then a pocket passer with him, like feels good for me pairing wise. And I go back and forth on whether that's like a logical thing that we think, or if it's just like feels good. I don't know. I go back and forth.
Yeah. It might be vibes based, but I
Yeah.
mean, no, I
Um,
like the team. It's a
what
good
about
one.
the tight ends? So he goes Dalton Kincaid early. So it's I sometimes I worry about Isaiah Likely in a 2 tight end build, but I think it makes sense with an elite tight end. Do you think that's good enough?
Yeah, I'm fine with that because going Kincaid.
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah,
mean, I
exactly.
Kincaid could easily be the number 1
He could.
pass catcher on the Bills. So,
Right. Yeah. Looks like a good team to me. Anybody else that we need to Someone who's asking us about the Icons team. I think it might have been the Icon asking us about the Icons team. So he has Josh Allen and Deshaun Watson at quarterback, Derrick Henry, Ramondre Stevenson, DeAndre Swift, Zeke Elliott, Nick Chubb at running back, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Hollywood Brown, Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, Mike Williams, Rashad Bateman, Tyler Boyd, OBJ, and then Ben Sinnott, Tyler Conklin at tight end. As far as correlation, it has Josh Allen with Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I thought I saw a few. Yeah,
Deshaun Watson with
there's Chubb.
Nick Chubb. Is that it?
I think so.
That's not ideal. So I don't love the pairing Deshaun Watson only with Nick Chubb. I think the quarterbacks are fine. Josh Allen, Deshaun Watson as a quarterback room is fine to me. The running backs look fine to me. Any other notes?
I mean, again, Chubb. Where did he take Chubb at?
134.
I mean, he's falling, but I'm still, like I said, I mean, I'm a little bit when it comes to ACLs.
Yeah, I'm taking Chubb a little bit later. He has to fall into at least the 140s before I'm considering Chubb.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I may have taken him once. I'm pretty older guys with complicated injuries scare me. I mean, but I was in on like young guys, I will take shots on. It's just what the data's shown, and
yeah,
I'm pretty comfortable, feel fairly comfortable in some of that type of analysis. Just
me
what
too.
I've done over the years.
Yeah, there comes a point for me where I'm willing to take Chubb. I know I had that conversation with Tyler where he's like, I'm completely out on Chubb, never taking him. I'm willing to take him if he falls far enough, but kind of out on the player. And just I don't love the correlation of Deshaun Watson. I think you need to be pairing with at least one wide receiver or running back. Don't love him with just Nick Chubb. And then the week 12 bye week issue for wide receiver. Like, so in week 12, his only wide receivers are going to be Hollywood Brown, Rashad Bateman, Tyler Boyd, OBJ. Like, you're not going to get many points out of wide receiver that week, most likely. So I do have this. This is where I start to see some concern when you have 5 week 12 buys wide receiver. That's a bit much.
Yeah.
What do you think of this tight end room? Ben Sinnott, Tyler Conklin. Is that good enough?
That's too thin for me.
Yeah.
I mean, betting on a rookie tight end as your tight end one, I mean, even Bowers, as great as I think he is, I do take him in some 2 tight end, but sometimes if I wait a while, I still want a third if I can.
Yeah, for me, I feel the same way. Like Ben Sinnott, I'm like legit concerned that he's just going to be a big nothing all year. Whereas like Bowers, I'm like, you're making the bet that he's going to at some point be good. Like, he's going to be worth taking where you're taking him. But I still do have some concerns there where I do prefer him with like another tight end who's going to be legit, like who you just can count on from the start, or going 3 tight ends there, even with Bauer. So I think I'm with you on that. The rookie tight ends just scares me doing just a double with one of them being a late round guy.
Yeah. I mean, Bowers, I'm very confident that he's very good.
Yeah.
I'm just not as confident that the offense is good.
Right. Yeah, true. And he's just a rookie. It might take a little while. They have Michael Mayer there too, so maybe they take, work him in a little bit.
I don't know. I do kind of think Bowers might walk in and just blow people away.
Oh, for sure.
He was like literally that good. I am pretty obsessed from a dynasty standpoint. Like, I keep taking him in all my dynasty leagues. So
nice.
I've been going all in. So I'm like, he's going to hit. But this year specifically, with Mayer still there, I mean, for best ball and stuff, it took me a little bit longer after the draft when we saw the landing spot to get back in. But
all right, I'm going to get into another draft. We had a question that I wanted that Tyler posed for you, so we'll talk about that. But I'm going to let you guys know I'm clicking in right now. So if you want to get in right now. All right. So Tyler was asking your thoughts on Brian Thomas. He says Gretsch is not in on him, and I see a path for big spikes at worst, just given athletic and collegiate profile. Given Gabe is also meh. Do you have any strong takes on Brian Thomas Jr.?
I mean, I'm taking him quite a bit. I just think for his price point, and there's the big play upside there. And Gabe wasn't great, from what we saw, even with Josh Allen. So I don't think it would take a lot to overtake that role. I mean,
Strong landing
yeah,
spot.
there was some questions with his profile, with some usage, but I mean, I'm still pretty in. And I mean, I'm pretty in on Jacksonville in general. I still do think that Trevor Lawrence is going to be at least good enough for fantasy. I think that they're going to throw a lot. Christian Kirk plays a totally different role. I just think he's going to take that. Brian Thomas could take the top off that offense, and it's going to be Kirk and Ingram getting the underneath stuff.
Yeah.
So I really do like him. I think it's a bet. I don't want to be out on him because I do think he's a guy that could end up making us look dumb.
Yeah, agreed. I'm somewhat in, like, I'm not like pounding like the table for Brian Thomas, but I'm taking him where he's coming to me. I'm also drafting a good amount of the Jaguars,
Yeah.
just making the bet that Trevor Lawrence is going to be better. Still hoping for that rushing floor to show up in the NFL. He has not really brought it in the NFL yet, but I'm still hoping that he's going to at some point start running a little bit more. So yeah, I'm pretty in on the offense in general. We got the
same.
3-hole here. If it is if McCaffrey and Lamb are both off the board, do you want to go Tyreek Hill again? Would you rather do, Chase or something else just to mix it up? What do you think? I'm fine with whatever.
Well, I'm going to hope that.
Oh, it is us. So it is Tyreek Hill as the top of the board. I know. I was hoping too.
So maybe we give a CD. I usually don't, but I will if you want to, just to give the people something a little different.
To go with like Jamar Chase or something?
Chase, yeah. We can go with Chase, even though I probably in my own, I would have taken Hill again, but we can switch it up unless you want to. It's up to you.
We'll switch it up. All right. Let's just do something a little bit different. We'll go Chase. I like Chase quite a bit too.
Just because we're streaming, I was like, maybe people want to see something a little.
Right. If you're doing your own draft twice in a row, maybe. But the nice, yeah, it is kind of nice to mix things up. Now I'm curious what my exposures are. Wait, somebody was asking, what is the site that shows the exposures? We don't see exposure anywhere on the screen, do we?
No, you not unless you have one of the cat. I don't know what caddy do you use.
Yeah, so maybe he's talking about the week 17. Yeah, that is Bricks. So it's at brick75.com. He actually has a new one. I think it's at draftcaddy.com. I think is his new site. But yeah, this is the Brick75 Draft Caddy. But I don't see
it's probably your settings. I'm sure there's a way when you're not
in
the middle of a draft to set it up to see your exposures. I don't use his. I use a different one. I don't want to false advertise anything by talking about it. But I have mine set up to see like my exposures while I'm drafting, so I'm sure it's something similar.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to find.
There's a bunch of settings you can choose. I know, like how you like it displayed for yourself.
Yeah. Now I'm not finding the question. I was gonna reread the question about what I was using, and now I am missing it. Sorry, just reading chat real quick. What site is that with the exposures? I mean, you can check your exposures on Underdog. I may have missed something in the conversation, so I don't know what the.
Unless he means the BB, was it BBD or
Oh, maybe that is what he means. So this is this is bbmdb.com. You're right. I think this is exactly what it is. Yeah, it's at bbmdb.com. Great site for just looking at other people's exposures, your own exposures, how often players are paired together. It's really cool. Play around with it if you have not already. That's a good time. Yeah, good call there. That is exactly what he was talking about.
I was like, wait a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. Steph knows her shit, which is why we agree a lot. Now I got to ask
Tyler,
you,
do you agree?
Now I got to ask you the important question then. How do you feel about Josh Palmer?
Actually, I'm not sure what Tyler's take is on Palmer, so we may not.
I mean, that's good. We'll get an unbiased take here.
I think he's not great, and I think he's boring, but I think he's a good pick.
Okay, hell yeah! All right, we're back in. That is the argument. Is I am in on Josh Palmer. I think agree with all of that. Like, I don't think he's great. I think he was like 41st last year in yards per run. So I'm like, I don't think he's terrible.
He's better than I thought.
Yeah, me too. Like, I think that he's a good pick where he's going in drafts. Like, I think he's Whereas Tyler is just completely out on him. He's just like, no, Lad McConkey is him. He's gonna soak up all the targets.
I mean, I don't. He's one of those. If I feel weak at wide receiver, if I didn't get a strong enough group, that I may target. But
Who do you
if
like
I
here?
have a good wide receiver group,
Debo, Neighbors, Steph Diggs, Achan
we
again.
have.
So we have Chase.
Sorry, I'm just trying to think. Let's go. We can do Debo or Neighbors.
Sort by ADP.
Let's go. You want to go? Let's go Debo. Maybe something happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that seems possible. Neighbors also the more likely of the two to make it back to us.
Yeah,
as a kind of a tiebreaker there. I don't like that Chris sniped us on CeeDee Lamb, but I do like the pairing of CD with Devonta Smith. I say sniped us like we had something set up already. All right, so we are Neighbors goes. Chris, you son of a bitch, just keep sniping us. Who do you like here? Who you go? Kyron, Diggs.
Why don't we go Diggs, since we did DJ Moore last time and we did some Seahawks last time. Let's switch it up.
All right, I'm good with that.
Let's do a 3 wide receiver start.
Okay. I guess we could have gone Laporta for the Detroit San Francisco, but that's gonna be kind of chalky, I think. People doing Laporta with Debo or Ayuk or CMC.
I actually have got Laporta my last couple BBMs, and I was lighter on him just because I think he's expensive compared to some of the other tight ends, but I had him fall in a couple drafts, like pretty good amount. So I ended
Laporta,
up
really? Like fourth round fall, or like how much?
Nah, well, he might have. It was maybe about 4 or 5 picks.
Okay. Nice.
So I mean it was
Early
a decent
fourth.
where the other guys I would have taken above him, and it made sense. So it's like, yeah. So I mean, I think there's times where, I see a lot of people, do the reach with CMC. So I think this would be pretty chalky, and I'd rather just take advantage of those times where he falls past. Because
agreed. I can see him falling a little bit more too. Like I think all of the sharp content creators for best ball are kind of like he's fine where he goes, but like all of the tight ends right behind him are like just as good at bets, and you can get them a round or two cheaper. So most sharp best ball drafters, content creators don't seem to be super in on Laporta, and I think over time that's just going to compound, and people are going to let him fall a little bit more.
I agree.
And I mean, the counterpoint, I guess, would be like, because we're taking Debo and Ayuk, maybe maybe there's a floor to how far it can fall just because people want to do the week 17 correlation. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see, I guess.
And you don't have to always force the week 17 right away. No. I mean, you can let it happen and play out in your drafts. Sometimes people go overboard.
Yeah. Oh, Chris building out an NFC East stack, apparently. That's Snatch Catchers has CeeDee Lamb, Devonta Smith, Malik Neighbors.
That's definitely building out an NFC East stack.
Yeah, doing it. I don't know. Do the Giants play? I haven't looked at the playoff schedule for the Giants playing CeeDee Lamb and Devonta Smith. Not sure.
I'm trying to think. Dallas plays Tampa Bay, I think, week 16. I don't know all the week 16 offhand, but I think that's. But Philly might play Washington week 16.
Oh,
I feel I feel like they play some NFC East team.
Have you gotten into any of the other contests on Underdog, like weekly winners, eliminator, that kind of stuff?
I haven't. I did a little weekly winners last year, but not very much. But I have it this year. I mean, I don't have a unlimited bankroll like some people. So the fact that I was going to max this, and then I do, some FFPC main event and stuff like that. So I'm picking and choosing my places.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I think it looks fun. I mean, I wish I could get into, especially, again, getting in early on any format might be where some of those edges are.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, you max this out, like that takes up a good amount of your bankroll for most of us. So yeah, I'm not planning on maxing any of the other contests. But definitely like here and there, I'm getting into weekly winners. I feel like that's a good place to learn when teams are playing each other throughout the year outside of week 17. Good for that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think if it was a little lower price point for some of those, I would dabble more. Or if they do eventually release some to play in, because I'll still mix in, like I maxed the poodle and stuff like that.
Have you done the sprint is $50? I feel like they could do a mini sprint that would fill pretty quickly.
I
Is that
have a
something you would be?
feeling. I have a feeling they'll come out with some smaller ones in those type formats if they think they did decent enough at some point. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like a lot of another thing for someone like me who can't max everything. I do like that they're doing a lot more 3 max and single entry and 20 max contests this year for like lower and mid stakes. Because I do like being even with the field on those, where you're not fighting all the 150 maxers.
All right, so we are on the board. I guess no Tank Dell. Okay, so he went. What I sometimes like to do in this scenario is we could go Mark Andrews and then see if.
Yep, that's exactly what I would do.
Hell yeah! All right, good. So now we have 2 potential quarterback outs. Hell yeah!
And that, yep, and that's exactly why you push it there, because you have 2 options.
Very nice. Yeah, good.
And honestly, we have 3 options. I mean, if worst came to worst, we still have Burrow.
True.
Not here, but I mean later on. So it's like if you happen to miss out, that's why it's like there's no absolute pressure. It's like awesome if it happens.
Yeah.
Well, we're still correlated.
All right. I mean, Lamar is I love taking Lamar.
Well, that's good. I'm with you.
All right. This is a beautiful team. This is coming together really nicely.
Oh yeah. I feel like I've tried to get this team a lot lately, and I was getting like, not necessarily in BBM, but earlier contests, a lot of Lamar and Andrews, and it's been a little more challenging for me lately.
Yeah, me too. Like I even early BBM and especially big board, I drafted so much Lamar and Andrews. Like you could just do 4 or 5 turn every single time, like clockwork. Take those 2.
Yeah,
definitely not like clockwork anymore.
No, and I was doing the same thing. I mean, I think that those are guys that are different to me. Those are guys that could both separate at their positions in big ways that I want a lot of exposure to.
Yeah, exactly. Consigliere confirms that you got all of your playoff matchups correct. Dan says, "Whoa, Kyle Pitts." I don't think that's a terrible spot for Pitts at 52 with all of Laporta, Kelsey, Kincaid, Andrews, McBride off the board.
Well,
is that too early for you?
Well, they double tight end. I'm not going to go early.
Yeah, good.
I'm not going to go that early at ADP if I already have an elite.
Yeah.
The only way I'm going, and I do some bully this year, but I mean, I want them to be fallers.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't have been my pick there.
Wide receiver out of those rounds as well. You're going to get way too far behind, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. I don't hate it. I'm not like, whoa, that's a terrible pick, but that's probably not where I would have gone. Pitts TE1 says TX Politics. Pitts TE1.
It's possible. I was a Pitts truth or back when he was coming out,
Yeah. Before it was cool. No, I guess it's always been cool. I was going to say before it was cool
for a while.
I mean, since he came
I liked him in Florida, so I mean, maybe before.
Oh, okay. So you were before it was cool. Okay.
I do a lot of Dynasty, so.
Yeah, I was going to say, as a Dynasty expert, do you watch a ton of college football?
I don't watch a ton, but I mean, I'm from Florida, so I did watch some Florida teams.
Are you a Florida fan?
Not really.
Okay.
I had some friends that are Florida FSU and some that are University of Florida, so I'm careful when I used to pick a side.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't go to any of those schools. Unfortunately, my school is not the best football school. So.
Did you go to a D1 school or?
No, I was at a University of North Texas.
Okay.
Mean Green.
Mean Green. Is that the mascot? Is Mean Green? Nice. All right. Is it D2, D3? What kind of how big is the school?
Oh, it's a decent size.
Okay. Are you born and raised in Texas?
Florida.
Oh, Florida. Okay. But you're in Texas now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
For a while. Yeah, I mean, I was in Florida till halfway through high school
Okay,
and moved to Texas.
gotcha. I have not spent a ton of time in Texas. I went there for during law school, did like a week there, um,
Okay.
and then went to Austin for a bachelor party. This was it this year? Might have been this spring or maybe it was last spring. I went to Austin for a bachelor party. A friend of mine who was from Texas had his bachelor party down in Austin, which was a really good time. But yeah, I have
Austin's
not.
fun.
I am, of course. I hope as a Texas resident that are you a huge San Antonio Brahmas fan?
I mean, that's like 3 states away, San Antonio from
Yeah.
me.
Okay. All right. Fair
Texas
enough.
is huge.
Yeah.
So yeah, not really. I'm in Dallas Fort Worth area.
Okay. Yeah, you said you're a
So
Cowboys fan.
I am, but if they look terrible, I may switch to Houston.
Oh no.
No.
All right. Anybody that you like here?
Why
So
don't we do
here's my
Lad? I know
you
you
want
said you
I like Lad too. Yeah, I do like Palmer, but I also do like I like Lad. I just think like there is an opportunity for one of these guys is going to be the wide receiver one there, and whoever it is going to be a good value, I think. So I like Lad too.
except as we did it. Oh, there's something else, and I was like, crap, we can't do that now because of bye weeks.
Okay.
I was thinking ahead, and then I was like,
Do you want to go Burrow and close out our quarterback room, or is that too much at quarterback? Would you rather go
I'd rather do Rice.
Rashi Rice? Okay. Yeah. Let's go.
Let's stay fun now. We don't need Burrow. We got Lamar's going to be killing it. We're filling in 1 week. I mean, come on. Let's load up everywhere else.
Hopefully. Yeah. Lamar just 25, 30 fantasy points every week. That's the dream.
One day. Because every year I take tons of Lamar.
Every week what?
But every year I take, I've always think he's just got such great upside.
Yeah.
So I'm like, one of these years he's going to go all the way.
B. Kurt is apparently not happy that are you a bye week? I wouldn't call her a bro. I don't know what the what the alternative would be. I call myself a bye week bro. Are you very cognizant of the bye weeks? You okay with the label bye week bro?
but not with yeah, I'm fine with it.
Right.
It's in good spirits.
Yeah.
It's non-gender specific.
Yeah, right.
In best ball world. But I'm not a bro. Best ball bye week bro, but at quarterback, I'm not in on taking 0.
Yeah, right.
On purpose. I'm not going to plan it out if I get cornered.
Yeah.
Basically, if you have figured out a lot of the late round quarterbacks, emergency stacks or things that we like on legendary upside, so you can probably figure out who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Are all week 14.
I've noticed, yeah, that has been a struggle for me with the especially when I do like super flex. I've done a lot of, I think that's closed now, but did a lot of super flex drafts, and it was often like I hate taking the week 14 early because I like to fall back on Drake May, Bo Nix, those guys.
I was gonna say that would have been a fun. That's what I was like getting the Chargers bring back already, but then I was like, that's what I was in my head. I was like, oh, we can't do May and Lamar because and I'm not gonna go 3 quarterback on a Lamar build just to make it work. So
right. Yep. We could still take Herbert. Herbert Lamar is a good pairing, I think.
Oh yeah, we don't.
They have offsetting bye weeks.
Again, that's one of those. I mean, I'll wait till a value falls. It's not going to be. There's plenty of ways to build things out. With Lamar, I'm not worried about it.
Have you? So now we have Rashi Rice. We could theoretically build out a Pittsburgh stack. Have you drafted any of the Pittsburgh quarterbacks at any volume?
I won't take Russ. Not at volume. I mean, I have taken a couple times, but I'm not huge on it. I'll take Fields like in the last round, just in general.
Same.
But I'm not as I've heard some people like doing it at a good clip. That's not me. I'm still like, I could see, I want some exposure, but I'm not confident enough.
Yeah.
To go heavy there.
And like you can be overweight to the field, I think, without even getting to 8%. Like, I think he's not going to go drafted in every draft. Maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't looked. But my sense is that he doesn't go drafted in every single draft. So you can, if you have 4% fields, you're probably still like even with the field in terms of how much he's drafted. I might be wrong about that though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's possible. And then the more hype we get that Russ is the starter for sure, maybe he goes less soon, because I know there's been a little rhetoric there.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So we don't have a running back yet. So this is a true zero RB build.
Let's pull up all the running backs.
Moss, Mostert,
You want to do? I'm good with. Why don't we go Moss? He's on the top. I think.
Yep.
I like on Moss. The offense, I take a lot of Chase.
We do have Jamar too. We have Jamar, so we have the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Good correlation there. I like Moss. Like, I think he's a good where he's going in drafts. I think he's a little bit cheap, so I like Moss as an RB1 in a zero RB build.
I mean, I like the offense. I think they both. I want exposure to both. Let's go Mostert.
Nice. Yeah, I'm good with Mostert.
It's double tap.
That's strong. Yeah, I think that was the right move. Just getting the double tap there makes a lot of sense for this team.
And those guys could both be pretty much a bell cow in the best situation for starting at a zero RB. I mean, that's why zero RB is so strong this year, because it's like you still could be getting the running back one on these teams.
And Mostert, as Scott pointed out yesterday, just talking about Mostert, like before he got hurt in like week 14, he was like the RB3 on the year, and like there's no reason he can't be again. They're talking about him. Mike McDaniel, his recent quotes has been like, "Yeah, we're going to have a lot of great running backs led by Raheem Mostert." Like he's talking about Raheem Mostert's the guy.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not disputing that. Like he's going to be pretty much but they still run both. I mean, but Achane's still going to get in and mix in. But like we said, he doesn't need that type of volume. I mean, I believe him. I mean, and I just want running backs on that. I just want pieces on that team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't mean that as an anti Achane.
Oh no!
I just mean as I think Mostert where he's going makes a lot of sense. Achane does too. We did Achane the last one, taking Mostert here. It's just coming together nicely.
Yeah, no, I feel good about. I think that's a great start for a zero RB team, because it's like it's so hard to match that wide receiver power here, but it's so easy to match that running back power later in drafts. And that's, a lot of it's what you get later on.
Consigliere says, keep eyes out for a Pitt player. There is a pretty nice double count because Baltimore, Houston, KC, and Pitt all play each other twice in the playoffs. I wasn't aware of that. Okay, that's good.
We do have there's a few of those type of stacks where you can, and I do actually, when I'm looking and using some sort of tool that especially shows things, I do look for spots, especially when it works in ADP and build, because I don't go out of my way to get week 16, but if there is a spot where I see they all connect.
Right. Well, I've done a lot of the
I'll
NFC North minus Detroit. Yeah, that makes sense. That's the one that I've paid more attention to is NFC North minus Detroit plus Seahawks. They all like play each other twice, so I do that, but was not aware of this one with Pittsburgh.
Well, I know Pittsburgh plays KC in week 17. And then I forgot who they, like I said, I always have stuff on my screen, so I don't have to memorize it, but I mean, you do so many, it happens. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, in the weekly winners, so that's why I brought that up. I label the team for the week that I want that I'm targeting, but then I still have to every single time. It's like, okay, I'm targeting week 8, but I have no idea what the matchups are. I always have to go back. But that's a nice thing doing slow drafts. You can always go back and just reread the schedule. I don't have week 16 memorized, sadly.
Don't say anything about players.
Okay. You have a thought.
I have thoughts.
Or two, or multiple thoughts here. Okay. All right. We are on the clock. What is it? Who are you thinking?
I was going to... Oh, is he not there? Is Jaylen Warren there?
No, Jaylen Warren went. Yeah.
Damn. For some reason, I thought he was there.
Damn that would have been nice. No, I would have blamed that.
Okay.
Singletary, Brown, Edwards.
What receivers are there too? Go ahead and put Singletary in.
All right. Looks like we're.
Why don't we go down? Oh, that's okay. We got Singletary. We're good.
Yeah, we got Singletary. We are coming back.
I was going to say Downs or Dontavius. I was like, there's a few fun receivers in those range still.
Yeah, so Down's definitely a good one. Oh, Wicks goes. Chris, of course,
Yeah.
not going to let us get Wicks.
Yeah,
Leggett
that was the
still
other one
there.
I was saying. Yeah, go ahead and put Leggett in, because that would give us a out to a quarterback that doesn't have a week 14 late.
True.
So we could start to build that stack. So those are things I like to try to think of as tiebreaker, because as much as I like Downs, his quarterback.
I'm throwing Herbert in there too as a discussion
I
point.
didn't even
We
know
could do Herbert.
Yeah, go
What do you think?
Herbert. I didn't.
You think should we just do it? Should we just take Herbert, you think?
Go ahead and do it.
Because we are pretty strong at wide receiver.
We're pretty strong. That's what I was going to say.
We do have the Rashee Rice might be suspended part of the year, but I think there are still wide receivers that we can. That are going to fall to us in the next turn.
I was not even thinking. I was on a one-track mind for receivers, so I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I had forgotten about him for a second. I wonder, where did Palmer go in this one? Oh, he went at 104. Okay, so yeah, weren't going to get him. I think he's been rising a little bit. He is higher up in the ETR ranks, I think, than leg up. So I think that he might be getting a little bit more steamed recently.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yep. And I was super in on him, when he's going at like pick 130 for a while, you could just like double tap him consistently with Herbert pretty late. I think that's more and more people are taking him, around pick 100, which at that price, I'm a little bit more hesitant than at 125, 130, whatever. I'm still willing to do it here and there, but I'm hesitant.
I'm probably out at that price unless it was as an emergency stack, which I do. And that was an emergency stack I kind of always had in my pocket. Like if I didn't have a lot of correlations set up.
Right.
And thought I needed something, because you could pretty easily get him and Herbert together at that point of the draft, like without trying.
Right. This is fun though. Herbert with Ladd McConkey. All of the, the rumblings recently have been about how good Ladd McConkey's looking, how much Herbert is targeting him. So happy to get Herbert there too.
And the bring back is so easy. There's just so many guys that go late on the Patriots. It's like mix them all in.
Right. Yeah. So
that's one place for receivers. I do like doing that in the later rounds, because there are still guys.
And I know Pat was recently talking about this on a legendary. I don't remember what the podcast was. I think it was on one of the legendary upside pods. But the nice thing with the Patriots is like, we do have concerns about Drake May specifically, like just might not start the year. Probably not going to be the starter to start the year. We don't know when he's going to come along, but you can still make bets on those receivers. Like we don't have to worry about, Polk or Javon Baker or whatever. Like they are probably going to be starting all year. So I do like taking some of those bets on those late Patriots. The nice thing here about getting Herbert is, because we were concerned about the bye week thing. We get Herbert, we can still just take our pick of those New England receivers. So I like the way we've set this up. Is I guess the point that I'm trying to make. I
like this team better than the other team.
Me too. Yeah, this is pretty strong. And I thought the last team was good.
The last team was good. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know. It's probably just Lamar Andrews.
Yeah, it's just fun. Just getting Lamar Andrews so.
And I mean, and Herbert, we're not that far removed to where he was a really, really good deep ball thrower. I mean, he's got some upside to it. Like, even though he's more of a pocket passer, he's still, a lot more than just a normal pocket passer. I mean, he could, and for these prices, I mean, and I think Ladd is going to be, I feel like he's going to come on strong quick.
Yeah.
For a rookie.
I'm happy with this team, how it has come together so far. Now we are 2 picks away. And a lot of players that I like.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything. Just wait, because I have somebody I want.
Okay.
But I'm sure Alex knows who it is without me saying it.
Alex knows who it is, but
he does.
The fact that the player makes sense for us doesn't mean he makes sense for him. Okay.
I was like, when I looked at his structure, I was like, oh, we might be safe.
Yeah. I like this username. Good luck. That's a good clean username. Not as good. My favorite is Mr. Poopy Butt, but good luck is a good name on Underdog also.
I was going to say,
any favorite? Oh, okay. Was it Polk that you're thinking?
Yeah, it's Polk.
Yeah, I knew who you were thinking of. All right, love that. Really coming together nicely. Loving this team. Do you have any
How many
favorite
receivers are we at? Are we at
usernames?
6 or
We
7?
we are at 6 now. So we are 2, 3, 6, 1. I'll read off the team real quick. We have Lamar, Herbert at quarterback. At running back, we have Zach Moss, Raheem Mostert, Devin Singletary. Wide receiver, we have Jamar Chase, Deebo Samuel, Stephon Diggs, Lad McConkey, Rashee Rice, Jalen Polk, and at tight end, we have Mark Andrews.
Yeah, I was trying to think names. I don't know. I mean, Waller's Balls was still always funny.
That is fun. Oh, all right. Let's make our pick. We could go Ty
Let's
Chandler
go
versus Pierce
Chandler.
Logan. Okay. Just trying to see before
Again,
I
I think he's
lock
going
it
to
in.
get more use.
Any
They're
other
talking
correlations
about
we need to
than
consider about, so just so we don't regret
I
anything?
would
No, I think
rather
it's
do. I
good.
mean, we're pretty good at correlation right now. I
Yeah.
think we want to keep pounding guys that we can get that solid floor that are
Yeah.
just underpriced at running backs.
And
Because I
you're
feel
saying
really good about those 4.
you're a Chandler fan in general. You think he's
I think he's going to get more use than people think, and they're talking him up right now. They're saying as much he's going to have a bigger role this year. And I mean, they're not going to be using Aaron. I mean, Aaron Jones, as much he has upside, I don't dislike him, but he's not a bell cow.
Yeah.
And
Probably
I
not.
mean, and they're talking about, everything I hear out of it is that we like Chandler. He's going to have a role. He's going to get used. I think at this point in the draft, he's somebody that is going to get you some solid weeks. And he was pretty explosive out there. So.
Yeah, he looked really damn good last year. And I think it was a player that recently came out and said basically we have 2 number 1 running backs, which they're your teammates. Of course, you're going to say that, but I think it's kind of true. Like, I think both could operate as number 1s, so should be a split backfield. I will say I didn't even notice that Burton was there. Is he not very high in the leg up ranks? I don't know if there's a way to check
He
that
should
now.
be.
Okay,
I get Burton a lot.
Okay, yeah.
So I mean,
maybe I just missed him for some reason.
But people have also been reaching on him a lot. Like I noticed, like people really like him. He gets
148 to me is pretty fair. Like I would have considered him here at our pick. I'm happy with Chandler also.
I would have, but I think that was a spot after I think one of those should have been a running back, just structure wise.
Yeah, I think you're
based
probably
on
right.
What we have.
Yeah, we're only at 3. That was our 4th. So yeah, I think it does make sense.
Yeah, but I would have been okay with either one, like in a vacuum.
Right. Dan says that we sniped his Herbert. Alex says I wanted Chandler so bad. So we're just crushing it. We're crushing people's spirits. They're all just gonna they're just gonna start throwing the draft now because we crushed their spirits. So good. Sorry guys. Sorry to do it to you, but not really. Not that sorry. No, Burton was not gone though. He says Burton probably gone. No. Oh well. I'm happy with the pick. I think it went well. Anyway, I like Chandler at 147. Feels like a good price. So now we are at 2, 4, 6, 1. We'll want to add another tight end. We could just add one more depending on where we take them. Probably need 1 to 2 more running backs, I would think. What do you think about like how much risk tolerance do you have with Rashee Rice? Like, are you concerned he's going to miss 8 games? I guess we probably need at least one more receiver regardless. What are your thoughts on Rashee Rice at this point?
I don't think he's going to miss that many. I don't think he's going to miss 8. I mean, I think it's going to end up being like closer to 4.
Yeah,
and now it's like for a while it sounded like it was starting to get worse, the vibes, and now they kind of feel slightly better again.
Yeah, agreed. 8 would be a surprise.
8 would surprise me. 6, I'd be like, okay. But to me that feels like the high end, and I don't think that's the most likely.
Right, agreed. I think 4 to me, like if I had to guess, I would guess 4.
Right, yeah. And I mean, and I feel like where he's going, I'm okay. I'm more than okay with 4. I'd even probably be okay with 6, as long as I have. I mean, we took him as our wide receiver 5, so we already have 4 strong receivers after that.
Right. True. All right, 2 more until our pick. Yeah, Alex took 5 wide receivers to start, now hammering the other positions. Juwan Johnson, top of board, could make sense for us. I like Jaleel McLaughlin quite a bit. Bateman, should we throw Bateman onto our stack, do you think? Or
yeah, let's do that.
All right.
I haven't been getting him much lately because he's been steamed up.
Yeah, he has. But
which
here,
I won't take him at this price without the stack, but we have it, so let's build it out.
yeah, yeah, makes sense for this particular team. I like some of these other options here. Lot of good
We got a lot.
tight end options here at the top.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That would have been my other choice. I forgot Bateman's going this early. That's probably why I haven't
Yeah,
gotten him lately because
I
I
know he's really climbed up. What's his ADP now? It's up to 161. So we actually got him falling past ADP a little bit. I've seen him go at like
jeez,
150 in some drafts.
feels
A little bit rich for me. And I'm
wow.
very in on Bateman, but like at this point, it's like getting to the point where I'm not quite in where he's going in some
I'm
drafts.
in, I'm out. I've been hurt a lot.
Yeah.
It's a tumultuous relationship. No,
I mean, he was one of my highest drafted players last year. So me
oh,
too. Very tumultuous.
and the
Uh,
year before. No, let's go, Juwan.
yeah, I like Juwan here. Jaleel McLaughlin was going to be the other one that I was going to consider there. But I like Juwan for this team. We
I
are
feel
at
like
four running backs.
yeah.
There are several late running backs that I still like. So we're through 15. We have 3 picks left. I feel good. We're at 2, 4, 7, 2. Here, I guess I'll read off the team. So we have Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert at quarterback. Running back, we have Zach Moss, Raheem Mostert, Devin Singletary, Ty Chandler. Wide receiver, Jamar Chase, Debo Samuel, Stephon Diggs, Lad McConkey, Rashi Rice, Jalen Polk, and Rashad Bateman. At tight end, Mark Andrews and Juwan Johnson. Probably done at the onesie positions, do you think?
Yeah. We missed something, and that's my fault. I should have seen it. We should have taken Vidal.
I'm just not that high on Vidal. Like I think
Yeah,
that's
but we have Herbert betting on that offense.
I know. That yeah, that
We
is
should have.
true. This would
And
have been a spot to take him.
I
We
mean,
could
there's a little bit of stuff, but I mean, I don't think that Gus is going to be the bell cow by any means. I think there's still plenty of room in that backfield.
do you
And they're
take
going to
any
run.
consider it says take Dobbins? Do you have any thoughts on you're just out Achilles
I'm out
injury?
on
No thanks.
Achilles, no thank you.
All right, fair.
Foreman, who overcame it, is the only one on an Achilles injury I'm taking. Like, I have strong feelings about ACLs. I have way stronger feelings about Achilles.
Yeah.
So I was a kinesiology major, and I've
Oh,
done a lot of sport injury stuff in the past. So
okay.
I have some strong opinions
All right. That's
when it
good
comes
to
to
have those.
recoveries
Yeah.
and stuff.
So Foreman, how far removed is Foreman from his Achilles injury?
Pretty far. I mean,
Okay.
it would have. It's not a factor for me at this point.
Yeah. It
I
just
mean,
has to.
now
You have
it's
to
more
see
just
it.
he's gotten old.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, anything related now that happens, you couldn't really say it's because of that as much as
Right.
that's just wear and tear and
Yeah.
age, and he's an older running back.
Yeah. Vidal goes at 179. Yeah, I think. Yeah, we could have taken him. Yeah, I did not consider the correlation there. I'm not super in on Vidal in general, but I think you're right that it would have made some sense on this team. Alex says if you don't like Vidal, you have to be high on Gus and JK, which seems like a bad bet to split 500 carries. I'm very in on
Yeah.
Gus, so that's the bigger stand that I'm taking. I'm slightly out on Vidal, slightly out on JK Dobbins. I have drafted some Dobbins, but I hear you. I definitely not super confident because of the Achilles.
Yeah, I mean, I do think they're going to run a lot, obviously on this offense, and I don't see Gus as a bell cow, so that's going to push me towards Vidal. But I mean,
Yeah.
he was a late round pick as a rookie. He gets caught from behind. There's some issues in his profile,
Yeah.
but at the same time, the opportunity is there, and I think he's going to be good enough to make a difference. I do think he's going to end up being
Yeah.
a good pick at these prices. We'll see.
Yeah. One of them's going to. Like where they're all going past pick 100. Feels like one of them has to hit at least. Could be multiple. D. Lutomsky took my guy, Khalil Herbert. He's the guy that I'm pretty high on right now, just from he's, I think, in a good spot there in Chicago as the RB2 and could get traded to a better spot. So he's been one of my late round hammers has been Khalil Herbert.
Yeah, I take a good bit.
Braylon Allen, also another guy that I have been taking late. So some of my favorite late round running backs flying off the board, but I know there's more out there.
Yeah, agree on Braylon Allen call as well. I mean, I think well, it's been abundantly clear that Izzy, rest in peace, my big board,
Me too. Me too.
ridiculous
I think my highest
exposure.
my highest exposed player,
It might be mine too. It's pretty close.
and I blame Pat specifically for that one.
I will not pass that message. No.
Yeah. Yeah, that was not a fun run out there for Izzy. But what are you gonna do? Not the only one of my big board. I blame myself for I also have a ton of Kenneth Gainwell. Like I just thought that the situation was too good there in Philadelphia. I was like, well, they're not gonna, spend a lot to get another running back there when they just bought Saquon. All right, let's so
I
I think
think we need
running
running
back,
back.
yeah. Do you like Tyrone
Um,
Tracy, Eli
yeah, let's
Mitchell?
go. I'm still good on Tracy. I know a lot of people. I don't mind taking some shots there. I don't think Eric Gray's very good, so I
No.
think that he could still earn a role even
Oh, we have
regardless.
single. I missed that we have Singletary. That's not the end of the world though. Singletary we
It's
drafted
not
at
an early.
118. Yeah, it's a
Nope,
fine
I
fine
don't mind.
handcuff there.
It's like betting on the backfield.
Yeah.
It's like let's just at those prices, it's fine, especially. But I don't mind. I think they're going to, they've never been a prolific passing offense, so
No.
there should be volume there.
We probably want one more running back at least with our last two picks. Then we could do another receiver or something.
Yeah, I think that's probably where I want to go.
Running back.
Is
Okay.
one more running back, and well, you pull up the right receiver too, because either one.
McMillan, Zay Jones, Greg Dortch, Khalif Raymond. Nothing standing out to me there.
I like
CEH.
McMillan.
Oh, do you like McMillan better than
CEH.
these running backs? I mean, we have Eli Mitchell, CEH, McMillan.
Go
who's
CEH.
your favorite? CEH? Yeah, that makes sense.
And then we'll hit.
He is a third by week 6, but probably fine. Pretty strong.
We have as long as you have two guys that aren't on it, for me, I'm fine there.
Okay. Yeah.
For our early picks, I mean, if it was all just the late guys, then sure. But I mean, if we already have, we're betting on Moss and Singletary quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's for me, it's still a tiebreaker here. Like I sometimes would break the tie away from a third by week 6, but like it's also not like the hugest factor, just kind of a minor tiebreaker kind of thing. So I'm good with that. I think he makes sense for this team.
Am I frozen? Everything looks frozen on my end.
Uh-oh. It's not frozen on my end. You look like you are frozen. So I think you might be frozen. Are you still with me, Steph? Can you hear me, Steph?
I can hear you.
So you look frozen to me.
I look frozen to me too.
Okay. All right. So, if you want to leave and come back, you could refresh whatever. Yeah. Up to you how you do it. Maybe just refresh the page and I'll
try here. Let me see.
Okay. Beastbear says the board is frozen.
Yeah. I was like, now my thing is hourglassing. It's not letting me do anything on my computer. Or I have a spinny, colorful circle here.
Is the board still frozen? I went back into it, so maybe that helped refresh it. It's not frozen.
It looks it's frozen for me too.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe it's a StreamYard glitch.
Yeah. I mean, the weird thing is for me, so I can. Beastbro says it unfroze. Okay. Yeah, I think I just had to click back into it. We are at Juice's pick at 203. He just took Bryce Young. Eli Mitchell goes off the board to the icon along with Tyler Boyd. Oh, wait, I think Steph left. So I'll keep my eye out for Steph returning, and I'll bring her back into the stream. All right, I'm going to put you back in on the stage, Steph. There we go. All right, I see you now. I see you moving. so that's good. We're back.
Oh, okay. Well, slowly. Looked like it might have been lagging for a sec.
All right. Reese Fly says it's off and on freezing now, so I'm not sure what's going on. We just have one more pick to make. Do you think so we're at 2672. Do you have a strong preference running back versus receiver here?
I want a receiver, I think.
Okay. Jalen McMillan goes, sadly.
Well, I'll say it in a minute.
Okay.
Here, scroll down some.
Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah, I was just trying to think.
Oh, DJ Chark, Alex takes DJ Chark. He was going to be
Yeah,
who I was going to suggest there.
that's what I was gonna say too. There's another gross one.
Is it Brendan Rice or Jerry Rice's
Don't
son?
say it. No, it's when I say gross, that's not you're going the wrong way on age.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Who are you thinking?
We could do Nelson Aguilar.
He does make sense for the stack.
Hey, he could have a week, and we don't need a lot. I think that's where I would go.
All right. All right. Yeah, I have not drafted. I think this might be my first share of Nelson Aguilar, so that makes sense.
Somebody
I'll get
on
my,
the Ravens is going to hit. I would have gone probably Shark too, but
yeah.
the other option would have been maybe one of like we could have done like Osborne, who I don't love. One other Patriot bring back, but
True. Yeah, Mr. Propinski was with you on Nelson Aguilar there. He says grosser would be Malik Cunningham. Yeah, Malik Cunningham grosser than I don't know about that. I feel like the upside is higher. Beastburf says Rice is not gross. He thinks that we could have gone Rice there. Yeah, I think Rice is fine
I just don't think that it just doesn't seem like the height. I just don't know if he could be a 0 right now. I mean, it just doesn't seem like it's somebody I want to wait on a little more news before going overboard with.
You don't think Nelson Aguilar could be 0 with the addition of Tez Walker? Probably
They
not.
seem to like they like him quite a bit. I mean, he played, he's had some decent weeks.
Yeah, true.
I think he's going to have a role.
Yeah, they've kept him around. It seems likely.
Yeah.
All right, the final team, we got Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert at quarterback. At running back, we have Zach Moss, Raheem Mostert, Devin Singletary, Ty Chandler, Tyrone Tracy, CEH. At wide receiver, we have Jamar Chase, Debo Samuel, Stephon Diggs, Lad McConkey, Rasheed Rice, Jalen Polk, Rashad Bateman, Nelson Aguilar. And at tight end, we have Mark Andrews and Jawan Johnson. How do you feel about this team, Steph?
I feel pretty good, minus our last round of gross pick.
I
think it's pretty strong. Hey,
Yeah.
It made sense again, and that's kind of what I'll do a lot of times because it's hard. These last rounds have gotten, but it doesn't feel like anything's great or sticking out a lot of times. There were some other guys on the board if we had maybe clicked back over, but I mean, if there's a correlation piece stacked up, it's like why not?
Made sense for the team. Get a little exposure to Nelson Aguilar. Hope that he goes off for 30 points in week 15 and drives his team through to week 16, something like that. So I think it makes sense to get those guys here and there, even if they do feel gross. Really strong quarterback room, obviously, with Lamar and Herbert. Running backs, even though we didn't take one until 94, I feel pretty good about how it came out. I like Zach Moss as an RB1. Mostert, Singletary, I feel like we've got pretty decent floor with those three, and then three guys who could come on with an injury: Ty Chandler, Tyrone Tracy, CEH. So I like the balance of the running back room. And then as far as the wide receivers, I think are pretty damn strong. We also have Rashad Bateman, Nelson Aguilar, and Mark Andrews there with Lamar. Interesting to triple stack the running quarterback and then only single stack Herbert with Lad McConkey. But typically I would prefer to do it the other way, but that's just kind of how things felt. Like we both wanted Chark. Chark doesn't fall to us. Not the end of the road. And we have bringbacks on both. I really like this team. I think it's really strong.
I think it's a fun team. And I mean, the thing is, like with the Ravens is, they're maybe outside of Flowers, nobody else, and Andrews getting the ball. It's always somebody else every other week. So it's like sprinkling them out, maybe playing that, they can each have a week here and there that helps the team just betting on the offense.
Right. Exactly. Making a big bet on the Ravens, which is a team that I like to bet on. So love the team. And I also love hearing just reading chat. Dan says that he hates his team. Beef Spurf not digging his team. So that's what you really love to see. Just everybody else hating their teams. We will go very quickly. So Chris goes Prescott, Jaden Daniels, ETN, Rico Dowdle, Jerome Ford, Chuba Hubbard, Jaleel McLaughlin. At running back, a wide receiver, he has CeeDee Lamb, Devonta Smith, Malik Neighbors, Terry McLaurin, Brian Thomas, Dontavian Wicks, Brandon Cooks, Malik Washington. Tight end, he has Evan Ingram, Tyler Conklin, Jonnu Smith. I don't have any issues with this team. How do you feel about it, Steph?
No, I think it's a good team. I mean, I really like the quarterback room, with Dak
Very
and
strong. It's a
Jaden
fun,
Daniels. That's
fun
a really
quarterback room.
fun combination there.
Yep.
And then,
Nice correlation.
I mean,
CD, Terry McLaurin.
looks pretty. Yeah, he got Wicks. I mean, so he knows ball.
Knows ball, exactly. That's the one pick you need to make.
That's all you got to do to prove it. I mean, yeah, it's a strong team.
Week 17 bring backs all the way around. Nice team there for Chris.
Yeah.
Alex in here as well has Caleb Williams, Daniel Jones. Ugh. Don't love Daniel Jones as a QB2, but might work with Caleb. Kenneth Walker, James Conner, Tyjae Spears, Marshawn Lloyd, Jalen Wright, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. So he goes the double stack there for Miami. DJ Moore, Amari Cooper, Hollywood Brown, Christian Watson, Javon Baker, DJ Chark, Pat Fryermuth, Hunter Henry, Noah Fant. A little bit concerned about the QBs. What do you think, Steph?
Yeah, same. The QB room is not. I'm pretty off of Jones in general, let alone as the QB2. Yeah. And I don't feel confident with Caleb as my only quarterback.
On. Yeah.
But I mean, I liked your first team a little better. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's
fair. But I mean, I like the. I'm assuming that he maybe got sniped on Tua.
Yeah, what did happen
double
there?
Built out.
He had the double built out and then doesn't go to.
Probably tried to push it with a few options.
Tua goes at 138, so he really pushed it though. Yeah, he had his chance to get to.
But I get him a lot. I mean, I get him sometimes. So.
Yeah, I guess he was hoping to get him at 140 maybe. He just had taken 2 quarterbacks already, so didn't need it. I don't know. All right. FF Dan said that he hated his team. We'll go over that real quick. He has Brock Purdy, Drake May, Bo Nix. So it's the 2 double by week 14 rookie quarterbacks. He had Bijan, Jalen Warren, Chase Brown, Zach Charbonnet, Antonio Gibson, Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins, Xavier Worthy, JSN, Josh Palmer, Troy Franklin, Demario Douglas, Kendrick Bourne, Sam Laporta, and George Kittle. So he has the double stack Ayuk and Kittle with his Brock Purdy. He has Drake May with Pop Douglas, Kendrick Bourne, and he has Bo Nix with Troy Franklin. I don't think that's a bad team at all. I don't know why he hates it.
I really like that team, Dan. I don't know what you're thinking there. I mean, I've done something similar with kind of a mid-ish quarterback and then tacking on the 2 late guys.
Yeah.
Like that, because I mean, I think we know that Nix is going to play probably all year. And then we know, hopefully, we know May's going to play at the end. We're not sure exactly when he comes on. I mean, Purdy's been pretty solid. He's put up some good weeks. I think he could hold down the fort.
Yeah, and he's got
until that point. And I mean, those were kind of the guys I was looking for at the end that I take a lot of when I have, mixing them up. I like Bourne a lot. I take him quite often as my last pick in that list, when I have New England or Charger stuff.
Yeah.
He was good before the injury. So, I mean, I think it's a good team. I mean, I think the receivers are still pretty strong, even though you went double tight end there.
Yeah, I think
it's not terrible.
The receiver, the only position that you're a little bit worried about, but I'm not that I think it's still good enough. Gets there with volume. Nice correlation on all of his picks. He has Purdy, he has Laporta on the bring back for his San Fran stack. He has T. Higgins on the bring back for his Denver stack. Overall, I'd say it's a pretty strong team. So not sure why you hate that one. B. Spurf also hated his team. He has Mahomes, Stafford, and Fields because he had the double week 6 bye. So he does need Fields to fill in by week 6. That's might lose some points there. Potentially
might be a little. I don't know if he's going to be playing in week 6. I would prefer that with a later bye week.
Yeah, me too.
That's the bet.
That's
and I don't. Bet. Yeah, and I mean, I don't like being forced into taking a third with Mahomes.
Yeah, agreed. So don't love what happened there with your quarterbacks. The running backs, he goes hyper fragile with Gibbs, Pacheco, Cook, and Najee Harris. I think that's pretty strong. They're all offsetting bye week strong running back group. So if you're going to go hyper fragile, I think you did it right. Cortland Sutton as his wide receiver 2 is not something I love. But so he has Puka Nacua, Cortland Sutton, Romeo Dobbs, Xavier Legette, Gabe Davis, Romo Wilson, Demarcus Robinson, Tez Walker, Greg Dortch, and then he has Kelsey and Goddard. So definitely strong enough at tight end, definitely strong enough at quarterback. He goes hyper fragile at running back, could work. What do you think? Are these wide receivers? Does this play, Stephanie?
So here's the thing. You can do hyper fragile builds. And the running back room he did correctly, but you got to pick. If you're going to do that, you can do running backs early and then wide receivers and late, and you should go late at those 1C positions. You can't do all of them together, or you're going to end up with this type of wide receiver room where Sutton, this would be so much better if we had where those were instead of Kelsey and Mahomes, if those were receiver picks.
Yeah, I would feel better about that team.
I mean, that, you just can't pull it all together. You got to think that's kind of wide receivers. There's got to be your core. That's what you want to get is those guys early. That's what you can't make up.
Yep. And he seems to be aware of this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As he noted, he doesn't love the team. So, yeah, I don't love the team. You need a lot of things to go right, I think, with the wide receivers for this to play. But obviously outside of wide receiver, I think it's a totally fine team. It's just a little bit thin at wide receiver. Juice, I don't know if you're still around. Josh Allen, Bryce Young seems good. Aaron Jones, Jonathan Brooks with Bryce Young is good. Henry Miller, Bucky Irving, Kimani Vidal, Braylon Allen. That is a lot of rookie running backs there. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Calvin Ridley, Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, Jacoby Myers, Jahan Dotson, Adam Thielen, and then Dalton Kincaid, Jatavian Sanders. I'd be a little bit concerned about this running back room. Aaron Jones, the only vet on the team. He has Kendra Miller, who could, I like Kendra Miller, betting on him the second year, but that is a lot of rookie running backs. Slight concern. What do you think of this one, Steph?
It's concerning, but it's fun. I could see me. It's one that I wouldn't do it all the time, but I would mix it in. I think Aaron Jones gives you enough. I think he has some upside. I do think Brooks is going to play the whole season. So if you're betting on him as a bell cow, even though he's a rookie, I think he's a stronger bet.
True. As far as running backs go, he's a safer bet.
So the other guys, I'm pretty confident that like Irving makes the team and has a good role. I'm pretty confident that Kendrick could have a good role. So even though it is the rookies, these are some of the rookies I'm more confident about out of the group.
Yep. That is true.
And then you get the upside. So I do think it's pretty fun, and you got some good receivers out of it because of those choices. So I think it's a fun team.
Yeah.
If things go right, it could be really good upside.
Agreed. Yeah. Jonathan Brooks. Yeah. If you're just making the bet that he's going to be the guy from pretty early in the season, I think it could play. So yeah, overall, I think it's a decent enough team. And then finally the icon, Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Joe Mixon, Zeke Elliott, J.K. Dobbins, Elijah Mitchell, Marvin Harrison, Drake London, Michael Pittman, Rashid Shaheed, Mike Williams, Malachi Corley, Michael Wilson, Tyler Boyd, Jake Ferguson, and Dalton Schultz. A lot of week 12 buys for the wide receivers, but I think he has enough others to make up for it. Looks decent enough to me. He has that Harrison stack. He has the Aaron Rodgers with Mike Williams and Malachi Corley. And any other notes on this one?
I think it's a little thin at wide receiver still for me. I don't love Shaheed as my wide receiver 4. And then I'm not super in on Pittman. So that on top, kind of all that compounding, waiting longer.
Yeah.
I mean, the correlation helps, but I would have still, again, kind of chosen my spot. I think there was a little too many detours. One too many detours early for my liking.
Yeah, like I feel like Rashid Shaheed, there are some builds where I could do it. I think it's partially just a player take thing that I don't love Pittman.
I do like it.
Yeah. So it's I like Shaheed too. It's just I don't feel that safe with this wide receiver room. So it's a little bit concerning for me. But at the end of the day, I think it's a wide receiver room that could play like if things bounce the right way. Not the worst wide receiver room out there. But yeah, I think you're correct that it's just a little bit light. He has J.K. Dobbins there as his running back 5. I know you hate that, Steph, but he has Zeke. I know you like Zeke. So, yeah, overall, decent enough team.
Too much capital overall, though, early on running back is more my take.
Yeah.
The Dobbins is fine there, but there's way too many running backs, and you either get quality or quantity. You don't, with you going Henry and Jacobs and Mixon, I'm stopping at 4 on that build.
He says that he's all in on Bucky taking the job within the first 6 weeks. So I guess that's part of his
I don't hate
rookie running
that.
back group. Yeah, I think it definitely could happen. All right. Well, that was our second and final draft. So Benjamin, thank you for joining, but we are done drafting at this point, unfortunately. Steph, that was a lot of fun. Really appreciate you coming on, doing a couple of drafts with me, talking about some of your rookie takes, some of your takes on some of the vets as well. Really appreciate you coming on. Where can people find you and your work?
Yeah, my work right now is over on Legendary Upside, and I'm helping out with Dynasty ranks on there, and I've put out a couple Dynasty articles recently you can check out. And then in season, I'll be doing all of our waiver content over there for redraft stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, you haven't done a ton of best ball content at Leg Up. Are you planning on doing any more best ball content going forward? Or is that something maybe you're going to push to next year? Think about doing some.
Well, I think they've got, we've got a pretty strong team over there.
It is a strong team.
I'm just kind of going where, I'm needed and where things are, it's if they, because I mean, Pat runs the site and he's a Dynasty guy as well. So I don't want to say that's necessarily his forte.
Well, he did win $2 million in best ball. So it's
he's pretty good at all of it, honestly. I mean,
yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's a very strong team. So yeah, you're just going where there are gaps in the content. That makes sense. Doing a great job over there at Legendary Upside. You can see on the screen at Steph Miller 57 is where you can find her on Twitter or X. Thanks a lot for coming on, Stephanie. We'll have to do this again sometime if you are open to doing more stream drafts in the future throughout the summer. Thank you all.
Definitely.
All right, sweet. Well, we'll talk. Thank you all for joining us. If you haven't subscribed, I am trying to grow the subscriber base. I am closing in on 1,700. So just a few more subscribers. Would appreciate any of you subscribing. Like the video. If you haven't already liked the video, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you next time.